Judgment time.
Good afternoon, citizens of Mega City 1, and welcome to an episode of Judge Dredd and the Worlds of 2000 AD. I am Judge Wolf of Tabletop Anthologies. I will be the game master for today. Joining me is one of Mega City 1's finest, Judge Null, played by Severian. Before we get back into the scenario, Judge Null, if you would tell us a little bit about yourself, and how are you doing today, sir?
I'm a little sick still, but very excited to be playing this and playing Judge Dredd again, back into the Judge Null character. It's always a lot of fun. I think he was my first character in Tabletop Anthologies as a player. So, but Judge Null is in the to use the sentence from character creation in this system. Judge Null is a stoic human Psi Judge who sees the good in everyone. So when we first started playing the Judge Dredd game, Null was right out of the academy, fresh onto the streets there, and he still has that sense where he sees the good in everyone and tries to be, generally a good person when it comes to upholding the law. But he's much more ready for violence now and understands that he needs to be ready to go lethal when the need arises. Unfortunately, it's just something that he carries with him now, is the weight of having to do that and having taken some life so far. So, but otherwise, he is a Psi Judge, so he's very in tune with some telepathic powers he has the ability to read minds and send telepathic suggestions if need be, but he uses that very conservatively. He's not trying to go out there and manipulate people to do things that they don't want to do if it's not for, what he sees as the greater good or upholding the law. And I do have my my badge on, by the way, but it's kind of obscured.
Hanging a little low. I also have mine.
Yeah.
It's also a little obscure. So, Judge Null, you've actually had quite a few experiences since joining or finishing up Academy. You busted up a what was thought to be a mob ring whenever it was actually just a business running amok and poisoning folks in an attempt to get them more addicted to their munts. You took some cadets out into the cursed earth. You discovered a alien species was being bred and used to possibly be a weapon, and took you out into the cursed earth as well, where you had a run-in with a interdimensional being. Do you remember the name of that interdimensional being by chance?
Yeah, Judge Death, he called himself.
He did, called himself Judge Death. And when you returned to the city, if you recall, there was a general malaise about the city. The sky was darker, the people were worse. They were just the amount of violent crimes had increased dramatically. In fact, things were getting so bad that the temperature control, the weather control satellites were actually malfunctioning, and it became currently one of the hottest times on record in Mega City 1 since that weather control started. Not to include the atomic war, of course, because areas around Mega City 1 would have got a lot hotter than it is now. But it's humid, it's hot, the people are on edge, they're violent. And if you recall the last time, I know it's been a minute because we kind of switched over to Conan for a little bit. The last time we were together, you were on a patrol and you stopped a group of uplifted apes who were attempting to rob individuals on board a moving bank. That moving bank had flipped over, there were dead bodies inside of that. And you were just in the process of arresting. And also another thing that had happened during that patrol is you discovered a drug on a group of individuals that was an inhaler. Kind of had an oily substance in it, and the inside of their mouths on those criminals were burned. So this is where we'll start off, with Judge Null and his fellow judges having arrested these uplifted apes. Do you recall everything up to that point now? I know it's been a minute.
Yeah, for the most part. You might have to fill in any details that I happen to miss out, but I think I do.
Yeah, absolutely. So, at the point when we left off, you had just cuffed one of these uplifted apes, and he was trying to push back, like, "Get off me, man! Just what are you doing? Get off! I'm innocent!"
I think his name was Miguel. Is that correct?
I think his name was Miguel.
Okay. So we're probably...
That's exactly where we're about to pick up, my friend. Yep.
All right, cuffing him and taking him to a catch pole, if I remember the term correctly.
Yep, perp poles. Either way.
Perp pole,
yep. So you have Judge Steele and Judge Walker assisting you as kind of ratcheting these guys up onto the perp pole. What are you doing? Are you going to question them at the time, or are you going to head back out on patrol?
I don't remember if I had questioned them too much. I did. Was there anything? Refresh my memory. Was there anything they said about what they were really doing there? Was it just simply a robbery?
They continue to assert that they are innocent and that you were the one that caused this wreck. They were just on there doing their thing, trying to gather or get their funds out of the bank just like normal, and you happen to attack them. Now, I would like to remind you that they were armed.
Yeah, and they were. I mean, we chased them. Were we able to conclude that they were the ones driving the uplifted apes?
They were not the ones driving. It's automatic. You haven't checked the inside of that van yet very much, or that vehicle much either, but from what you know, that this thing was automated.
Okay, so I guess I would try and investigate inside of or actually I'm going to send the other two judges with me to investigate inside of there while I question this uplifted ape. Do I just have the one here that survived?
There's two others that survived. Both of them are really banged up, though. This one seems to be the only one that isn't too banged up to be able to speak to.
And do we already have medics on the scene?
Yes, you have. Yeah, that was one of the first thing that you called in was
that's right.
An H-Wagon to come in and assist with med judges. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So I would send those judges off to do that, and then turn to the uplifted ape while I'm cuffing him up, and just say, "Explain again what you were doing in there."
Man, we were just trying to get money, our funds. We're just trying to use the bank, man. And then all of a sudden you're driving up and you shoot, and there's gyps everywhere. We just defended. That's it. That's all we were doing.
Do you have a permit for this weapon?
Well, we don't need permits in Ape Town.
Look around.
You want to do a law check on that?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do our first check and see what happens.
But at the same time, I would kind of look around and be like, it doesn't appear that we're in Ape Town.
Well, that's where we got on. That's where we got on to the thing. I mean, that's just and yeah, that they have to have permits in Ape Town, and just like you said, you are not in Ape Town.
All right. Let's see. I'm trying to remind myself of some of my exploits here. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use a mind read on him, I think. So I focus while I'm watching him explain his bullshit there.
Oh, it's you don't even. We don't even need to do a check for that. You immediately tap into his mind, and it's a little strange compared to a human's mind, but you immediately start catching glimpses of some type of a boss telling him to, go take care of the vehicle, and you see the vehicle in his mind in a garage, and you see them getting onto this vehicle and then basically jacking another one and taking it back to where this one was. So you have a feeling that this is it's a fake.
It's a fake?
It is a fake. This is something that was built by somebody else that's not an authorized vehicle.
Okay.
And you also have a bonus die on your next roll thanks to Alpha Wolf Zero.
Oh,
because
awesome. Thank you for
the
that.
eyes of the walker are upon you. Not the Sam one, but the Chuck Norris one.
All right. Your audio for me is getting a tiny bit choppy with the music, by the way. I don't know if it's happening in stream, but maybe
I
just
will
in Skype.
let me dock it down just a little bit. There we go. I think that was happening last night too, so let's go ahead and
I think so.
knock that
Okay,
down.
yeah, that's way better.
Is that better?
I think it's maybe a compressor or something coming through. But
Okay.
anyways,
Fantastic.
so I just glare at this uplifted ape for a second while I'm trying to read those thoughts on his mind. Then finally say, You came out here with this fake vehicle. Tell me where the real one is. Who are you working for?
He looks
Start talking.
absolutely perplexed that you would know that, and he kind of and he starts panicking a little bit, and that's whenever you hear a buzzing in your ear, because you don't wear a helmet as a Psi Judge, so you have your little headphones connecting. You hear, Judge Null, this is Control.
Go ahead, Control.
Judge Null, we need you to report immediately to the vicinity of, and they gives you a set of cross streets. There's currently a shootout going on. We do not have any other judges in the area. Leave these perps with your other 2 judges and get over there immediately. There's a reserve judge on station with a couple of sit defense individuals, but there's a massive shootout happening. We have no more resources. Our resources are completely tapped. Get over there now.
Understood. On my way. Over and out. Judge Steele, Judge Walker, and I say that over the comms.
I don't have my
I've been
voice
called
changer
away.
set, damn. Judge Steele. Yeah.
All right, so
Gotcha.
I'd make sure they understood the situation, and I'd hop on my my bike and head out of there.
So you head out, and it's not too far away. Given that there was casualties here, it was important to, have the judges there finishing up the investigation, especially because this interaction with the uplifted apes. And so I go ahead and I move you over to the map here. Let me go ahead and change things here really quick. Sorry, give me 1 second. So as you approach, you can already see from the distance smoke rising from the area, and fires, are raging in this area. And you can already hear, even without your helmet on, or with your without any type of audio technology, you can hear the sound of Spitfire weapons being shot off and explosions accompanying them. And you hear the hiss of a rocket flying across and slamming into a building. This is like an all-out war zone as you approach. And what you kind of see here is somebody wearing the uniform of a reserve judge. You should have enough vision to be able to see that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And a couple of sit defense individuals hiding behind vehicles, trying to shoot at another group of individuals who have barricaded themselves behind vehicles. There is a building in the back, and you can kind of see 2 other individuals hiding in the doorway, firing off rounds from that. And they're firing both to the south and to the west, over this way. But I doubt you can see what's happening over there. And
Okay.
this is not the song that I thought it was. I need something just a little bit more appropriate. If you give me 1 moment, my friend. I think this should be good. Let's go reload that, fire that baby off. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. So, Judge Null, you are on your Lawmaster. What are you doing?
So I'm tempted to just drive straight in and, go balls to the wall with it, but I will instead pull up behind some of these other vehicles here, kind of assess the situation, step off, and I'm going to, behind cover, kind of duck run over to that judge over there so I can get a sit rep.
Go ahead. You should have free movement.
All right.
You have control
So
of that token.
I'd probably park my Lawmaster here, and then run over here to this judge and join him in cover back here.
and Spitfire rounds kind of spatter around your feet and slam into, you know, these cars that are kind of there. And that reserve judge, he looks like a big guy, right? But, you know, reserve judges didn't make it through the Academy of Law. But there's a need, especially with the loss of judge life that's happened recently. And he looks up at you, and he's got a lawgiver in his hand, or excuse me, a law rod. And he pops over around the car and he fires off a couple of rounds. And he ducks back down, and he looks up at you and says, "You might want a helmet around here. This isn't no walk in the park."
I know what I'm doing. You don't need to tell me that. What's his badge say? His name?
His name on the badge, which would be kind of like a half badge, is... I lost it. Judge Canton.
Okay. You worry about yourself, Judge Canton. What's the situation here? Block war?
It's not a block war. It's the first thing I had or thought. But apparently, if you look, and he kind of points out, he's like, "There's a downed judge out there." Apparently, this judge was coming in to bust up a drug deal. Drug deal went bad. Stumbled in the middle of a Menage stakeout. Just these two rival gangs started shooting each other. Started shooting him. A bunch of people ran into the building. We think there could be hostages in the building. I couldn't do anything other than call some of the sit def from a neighboring block.
Well, you've done well holding this position. I need you to point out that judge for me. That judge and those hostages are our #1 priority.
So I'm gonna throw another token down here. I need to adjust the volume on that. So, that bobbed really fast. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Do we know which gangs are involved here?
No idea, sir. So the judge out there is downed. So that's I'll put a symbol on him just to indicate that. Give me 1 second here. There we go. Wow, that could not be any smaller. There we go. All right, cool. No idea what the gangs are, sir. Maybe that judge knew, but he, like I said, it was just a drug deal that went bad, or a drug bust that went bad. Not sure what's happening.
All right, stay here, provide cover fire. I'm gonna try something here with my lawmaster, see if we can get that judge back with us.
Okay, Roger. And so the minute that you do anything, he kind of pops around and starts shooting off with that law rod again.
Okay, so what I'm thinking I would try and do here is have use the AI on my lawmaster to try and use it basically for some suppressive fire. Get it to just drive forward, turn in front of the judge that's down there, but while it's driving forward, try and spray some suppressive fire at the building.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a computer's check.
Okay, I don't believe I have that skill, so would that just
That would be straight intuition or straight logic.
Logic, okay. Yeah. So your bike, I wish it was R2-D2, sad boop at you. It pulls away from its area and it comes up to right about here and begins to open up with that the bike cannons, and it starts driving forward. It kind of dings into this car right here that's on fire, and then starts to pull forward. What do you do? Where would you start doing your thing? I would be following just maybe 5 feet behind it, kind of duck down, using it as a little bit of cover, and hoping to grab that judge off the ground up there as I move forward.
Okay, give me 1 second here.
And of course, watching for any enemies nearby while the lawmaster's providing suppressive fire.
So as that bike gets to about where you are, a rocket, an RPG, old school RPG, probably not even sit def surplus. This is old school. Flies by, slams into this car. This sit defense person back here goes flying backwards, just showered in, in shrapnel and blood, and just falls flat onto the ground. Okay, good. And you can see that it came from right here. The rest of these individuals are starting to concentrate fire on your Lawmaster. Go ahead and give me a luck check, and we're going to say a DC of 12 on this one.
Okay.
So thankfully, it seems you can, without your helmet on, you can kind of get a general feeling of these individuals are all high beyond belief.
Okay.
Like beyond high. And so their aim is just all over the place. Unfortunately, the rounds kind of spatter by you, and they hit this sit defense guy back here, and he kind of falls over. Seeing you approach, you see this guy right here, kind of like look left, look right, and then he just ducks out and heads towards the building, with the two people inside of the building kind of giving him covering fire. Anything you want to handle with that, or?
Not really. My priority right now is to get that judge and get him back to safety behind our line back there.
So he gets into the building, and then you see that another one of these people peels off and follows in with him while you kind of move forward with that. So we'll put you about to right here.
Okay.
And then this is whenever they start kind of concentrating fire on you. So let's see. I'm going to give you armor. Are you firing back? I know that. So the bike is giving you covering fire. It based on your roll, it's not going to be very good. It will hinder them. So basically, it's going to count for cover for you. Are you shooting back?
They're shooting. They're launching rockets. I'm going full lethal, throwing a frag grenade back there.
Holy shit! Okay, what's your target?
Just get back behind these vehicles there.
Okay, DC, go ahead and do a intuition check or agility, it's your choice, at a DC of, we'll say, because it's going over cover, a DC of 15.
Okay.
And if you wanna try and argue anything, I know you don't have any throw ability.
Can I use aim with that? Are we getting like standard turns here?
Yeah, we will not probably go into standard turns at all. You just use two actions. Okay. We'll kind of play it by ear since it's just me and you.
Okay.
Yeah, you can use the aim action, right? You're kind of hunkered down behind that vehicle.
Right. I definitely needed that.
Yes, you did. Go ahead and roll me, what's the damage on that? 2d6, correct?
Yeah, 2d6.
Okay, go ahead and roll that twice. Oh. So, this one right here is just engulfed in shrapnel and just reaches up, grabs his face, and screams. And what's really weird is you see his weapon go flying, but as he's doing so, and you gotta kind of see my face for this one. He goes like this.
All right.
Right? Like he is staring at his hands, like just in a very strange way as the gun goes flying from his hands, and he's still staring as he slowly falls backwards. This one over here, the one that had that RPG, takes shrapnel into her side, and she kind of screams as she fumbles around for a weapon. And both of them, both this one and this one, end up taking a shot at. Let's see, combat. Let's see here.
Are they both firing spit guns?
No, this one actually has a las pistol.
Oh.
And so you see this red beam kind of like go behind you. This one, on the other hand, up top, also has a las pistol. I guess the ones that had the spit guns is going inside. And that one kind of hits the front of your Lawmaster and is absorbed by the Lawmaster. It kind of damages the front a little bit, melts that eagle, but it doesn't really do much else.
right. So am I close to this judge now?
Yeah, and you can see that he is barely breathing.
Okay.
Like his lawgiver's laying by his side. His lawmaster has been completely destroyed. He is just covered in blood. His guts are kind of hanging out of his stomach, and he is just laying there. His breath's barely coming through.
Ooh. This is not someone that I want to move right now, but I don't have a choice, I don't think. Okay, so I'm going to... I don't have anything to heal him with, so I'm going to try and scoop him up onto my Lawmaster the best I can. Hopefully he's holding his guts in some, and then I'm going to jump up on there, gun it, and try and turn around and drive back behind the line.
Okay, give me a ride check, and we're going to say a DC of 15, given the difficulty of the situation.
I don't even know if I can roll that high. I'm going to spend one luck die on this.
Okay, let's hope for explodes. Oh, honey.
It wasn't a luck die that I got a 6 on.
No, sad. So you flop him onto there, and you get the bike turned around, right? But the fact that this thing stops shooting on these individuals now makes them able to fire on you without any type of cover, and both of them are going to do so. What's your range defense?
18.
Okay. And so they're going to get be able to let's see here. Sorry, I'm looking for the aim button. There it is. Aim. Okay, that'll do it.
Ouch.
Oh, yeah, ouch indeed. Let's go ahead and roll damage on that. So you take 2 damage, correct? You have armor. You have that up armor. That's the
yeah,
exceptional judge armor, no helmet. So 5. So you take 2 damage if you would do that for me, sir. And yep. This one does the same. So with the aim action.
Not quite enough.
Not quite enough. And so that you can feel that las burn just kind of go by your arm and kind of singe you just a little bit. And so you're able to get this individual back behind enemy lines. What are you doing? Go ahead and move back.
All right. I would get them back here, get off my bike, and immediately call, is it Control or Central?
Yes, sir. Control.
Because I know we were using the wrong one for a little bit.
Yeah, we were using Central. It was Control.
Control, this is Judge Null.
It's Control. Go ahead.
We need medics out here immediately, and I would give them the locations. We have a judge down.
Roger, we're also finding judges down in 2 other sectors. We'll get somebody out there as rapidly as we can. See whatever you can do for them for now. What's going on? What's the situation with the shootout over there?
We've got some sort of gang war situation, possibly. Multiple gangs shooting. We've got sit defense here. I'll try and handle the situation and report in with more details as they unfold.
Roger, you got a reserve judge there, correct?
Yes.
Pass off care of the down judge to that individual. Get in there and find out what's going on. We can't have a block war breakout right now.
Understood. Judge Null out. So I'd wave over for Judge Canton.
Yep, he comes over.
Judge, take care of this one. Maybe these sit defense guys here have some medical equipment you can use. Stabilize them. I'm heading in.
Roger that. I got it. And so he gets down on his knees and he get over here. He's yelling at some of the sit def guys, and they kind of come over, and everyone's starting to try and work on this individual to do what they can for him.
Okay. So I would, after that, get back up here. I'm kind of still behind cover, but I'm surveying the area. I want to see if I can get, if there's an easy way to maybe get roof access over here or something and look down on those vehicles.
And absolutely, there appears to be, doors that you could go in, and then, this building here is pretty low compared to the other ones. This one kind of reaches up quite a bit higher than this. The building that guy ran into, this one here, is probably 3 stories tall. It looks like it may have been useful for a factory or something, you know, like just where people would work and produce stuff, and you know, for the most part. So it's definitely the tallest of the buildings nearby, but it's also the one where you got people shooting from. This one here is probably the second tallest, followed by this one, and both of them look like you can have access to them easy.
Okay. Yeah, then that one on my right, I would try and get up there. But first, as I'm passing by these city defense guys here, I would turn to one of them and say, "Hold your fire for the moment. Suppress them if you need to, but wait for my shot. I'm going to be up there in that building."
Oh, this guy right here? He's dead as fuck.
Oh, that's the one that
got hit by the RPG. This one was shot dead, and this one is just dead from an RPG.
Okay,
yeah.
they're both dead.
So you're like, hey, buddy, I need you to
back there taking care of the judge.
Correct.
Okay. Well, all right. It's all up to Judge Null then.
It is.
So yeah, I'm gonna try and sneak my way into this building and get up top.
Do a luck check.
Okay.
Nice. So yeah, they're with a lot of these guys kind of rushing in. You see over to the western side, you see 4 Sith defense guys behind vehicles who are starting to concentrate fire and beginning to move forward. And the gangsters over here are a little bit distracted by that. And so you're able to get up onto that building fairly rapidly, running up some stairs, and so that would put you up here.
Okay. So I would kind of sneak to the edge, hiding behind some of these signs here. Mm-hmm. And I just want to... I mean, I can't see their tokens anymore. Oh,
I'm sorry.
Because of the cars, but I imagine I should be able to see from the angle.
Oh, absolutely.
And I want to carefully line up a shot and start shooting.
Okay, go ahead and roll that with the aim, and there should be an ambush, I believe. They are not in cover for sure. Let me take a look here real quick. Let's go ahead and give you high ground, aim, and unaware sneak attack.
All right. Let's see. Benefits. Okay, there it is. High ground, aim, and unaware. I don't even think I can roll that many dice.
No. Oh, those ones are always over the top of your
right.
your limit. Okay, so tell me what happens to this person.
Like I said, I carefully line up the shot, set it to standard execution rounds, and hate that I have to pull a trigger on another citizen, but it's the way it's got to be. It's the way they want it to be, it seems, firing off those RPGs. And I pull the trigger, and his head explodes. And
so I'm going to go ahead and...
I can't see the token.
Given it's a female, but that's fine. I understood. You were not disrespecting. You have 10d6 with this, and the other one wouldn't even notice, so tell me what happens to the last one as well.
They're just completely distracted by all the gunfire coming in from the city defense, and I swivel over to the other one, and same thing, stabilize my breath, steady my hand, and pull the trigger, and that one falls too.
And you make the pink mist with that one as well, and so everything's quiet in the streets right now. Except for the crackling of fire and the smell of burning plastic. And
so I would survey the face of the building in front of me where everyone ran into. What do I see as far as windows, and do I see anyone in there with weapons? Anyone about to start firing out again?
So the 2 that were in the doorway ran inside with the guy that ran in there first, and you try to look through the windows, but they are so caked with dirt that it's almost impossible to see through them. They're all barred and guarded, you know what I mean? And you think that you see movement in like one of the second story ones, as well as, so one second story one to the west and one second story one to the east. You think you see movement in both of those, but it's It's so hard to tell.
Okay. So I'd call in the comms. Control, this is Judge Null.
This is Control, go ahead.
The situation here is under control in the streets. All the perps have ran back inside of this building here, and I would give like the address or whatever I need to for this building. I need any information you have on this structure.
Roger, stand by, pulling that information. Seems to be a 3-level building, was going to be scheduled for demolitions, but given the area and the lack of resources for this particular portion of the sector, the building was left standing. It's been used for small-time manufacturing. It was investigated at one point as a possible drug manufactory, but nothing came of it. We believe that there might be textile workers that work and live in there, but other than that, we have very little other information.
Any known gang affiliations?
Negative, not at this time.
Roof entrances, accesses?
There should be a roof entrance at least one roof entrance at the top that leads to a couple of stairwells.
Understood. Judge Null out. All right, so I would work my way back down to the street then.
Okay.
Probably the same way I came. Can't superhero jump off the building, unfortunately.
Judge Null.
So I would just, I would make sure. So you said there's more city defense to the west. I would wave them over, actually.
And they come over. And you see one that has corporal stripes on his arm. And he's holding a spit gun. He just looks completely out of sorts.
Okay. What's does he look like he's kind of actually experienced, or what do I get from him? And I would probably probe him just a little bit with my mind, but not a whole lot. Like, can he handle a situation? He's
seen things, but he's probably not the most reliable. I mean, he's not a judge. Let's put it that way. He's not a judge, but he's had some time.
Okay. I'm heading into that building. Don't let anyone come out of that front entrance.
And he kind of nods once, and then he nods again. He's like, except you. Except you.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Roger. All right. You. Take up perimeter around those cars where they were, and he's trying to start to get people moving in the directions.
All right. And then I would head off, and it looks like there's only an alley on the left here. So
correct. And so as you begin to walk towards that alley, on the second floor, in one of those windows where you saw, it completely just blows out in a massive explosion and showers the ground with glass.
Okay. Is this a wall here, or is that just a marking on the pavement?
That's a marking on the pavement.
Okay. All right. So I would get over to this building here for cover immediately. As soon as I would hear that any glass breaking, I'd get over there and then get behind cover and with my log ever look around and see what's up there.
So you see shots coming out of that window, but not down. They're kind of spraying all over the place.
Okay. But I can't really see up into that window.
No,
from here.
Definitely not. And you can hear screams inside.
All right. It's interesting. Is it still some of the same spit gun fire? Nothing new?
Definitely Spitfire equipment, maybe some LAS stuff, but definitely stuff that was already on the street.
All right.
So you got a channel spend, by the way, and you need something badass. So I'll let you pick what that is and hold on to. You can hold on to it for now, or
something badass.
Yeah, Turd says it has to be something badass. I'll tell you what, I can do a good equipment drop for you. I'll save it. You want a combat robot? Like you had whenever you went out into the cursed earth?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, I'll give you one of those.
That down.
That's probably about just as badass as we can get without giving you another PC to help you out. So
yeah.
We'll get you a combat bot on whenever you head back to control or to the sector house.
I don't think I used that bonus die yet from Alpha Wolf Zero, so I'll have to remember that for my next roll.
Copy.
All right, so while they're shooting, and I don't see any threat to us on the ground, I would use that opportunity to start running up into the alleyway. And it looks like there's a fire escape or something that goes up to the roof there.
Yes.
All right, so I would run up that. When I get to the top, though, I would carefully peek over the top of the roof and see if I notice anything up there, any movement across the rooftop.
No movement.
All right. It does not let me move myself past there.
There you go.
All right. So I head up onto the rooftop, looking everywhere, waiting for another one of these perps to jump out. And do I see the entrance down, any roof access entrance?
So that you see two different access. You see a access here underneath of that sign, and you see one right here.
All right, this one's closer to the gunfire. Let's get into it.
Okay, and so you open that door, and as you...
And I would be doing this as sneakily as I can.
No, I didn't figure that you would have any tactical sense on this whatsoever. So as you open that door, this door over here slams open, and you see this individual stumble out, covered in blood, and he's got a spit gun in his hand, and he's kind of stumbling around, and he's looking down, and he looks absolutely terrified, and he walks up to this kind of raised platform, and he's standing there, and he's kind of... I'm gonna take this off for just a second. He's kind of like... And he's got this spit gun in his hand. He's kind of like staring around. He's looking around. He's...
Citizen, drop the weapon.
And he doesn't even seem to notice you. He's just kind of looking around, and he's backing up towards the edge of the ledge of that raised area.
And I would use I'm going to go ahead and use psychic suggestion, to try and send him a message with my mind to I don't know, I guess on your knees, citizen.
Okay, so this would be a telepathy check, correct?
Psi versus mental defense. But yeah,
Psi versus mental defense. So this is going to be very high in difficulty because of the amount of drugs this person is on.
Okay.
So you get... How did you only roll an 18, Severian?
Lots of low rolls on that one. Nothing above a 4.
And so you kind of reach out to this person's mind, and it feels beyond like convoluted. Like it is just so addled with fear and drugs that you are... It's like, imagine somebody that's on an incredibly bad trip, going back to Shiver last night apparently. Somebody on an incredibly bad trip that the walls are closing in and trying to kill them.
Okay.
And you're able to read that in his mind. And he's just... You yell that, and he doesn't even seem to see you. Like, he's just...
Okay. With that information, I rush him and try and grab him. Get a handle on the weapon, make sure he's not falling over the ledge, and basically just kind of restrain him.
When you are about right here, he screams. He's like, "Ah!" And he starts to raise his spit rifle. But it's actually would be more like this.
All right.
Are you still going to keep rushing?
If I have time to react, yeah, no, I'm gonna shoot off a stun round at him.
Okay, go ahead and roll that.
All right. If I can find it in the sheet here, there it is.
And so that stun charge hits him, and the gun goes flying out of his hand. Do me a luck check.
All right, hopefully I don't accidentally kill him here.
And he stumbles backwards and he falls off the building, and you just hear a thunk, like this wet splat.
All right, and I just walk over to the edge and look down at him.
And you see the sit deaf guys kind of go walking, like running up to him, right? And they look up at you like, what the fuck?
The cost of drug use. And then I would...
What a good PSA!
And then I guess I would head through the door he came from. I'm more interested in seeing what he was running from now. So carefully heading through that door, listening to see if I hear anything, and then carefully heading down through there.
And so you really don't hear anything. It's quiet. And so you kind of head down, and you come up upon a hallway that has an open door, and then down a little bit further down the hall, closer to that other stairwell, you have a closed door. So an open door and a closed door. Okay.
What's the lighting situation in here like? Is it pretty normal lighting?
It's daytime, and the light is filtering through these really shit, encrusted windows. So, I mean, you don't need IR or anything to see anything, but there's enough light to be able to see. Okay.
All right. I do have IR, so I just want to keep that as an option if I happen to see a way to shut off the lights in this place. So I would carefully peek through the open door before doing anything else.
And so you peek through the door, and your first inclination is massacre, and then you kind of pop back, right? It's because it was a little sneaky peek. But the only word that comes into your head is massacre.
Okay. I guess I would caution a longer look into the room, lean it up against the door frame on the other side and peek around.
And so you peek around, and you see several bodies laying across the floor covered in blood. And you see tables full of equipment, military grade equipment, right? Old school military, not as good as sit def, but definitely military grade equipment, spit guns, RPGs. And there's one guy that has a cast off of an RPG, and you think that's possibly what blew, because there's a big hole in the wall right now. I mean, it's massive, right? And you see that there's shots riddled all along the walls in multiple directions. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. Can I use clairsentience on this one?
No, because this is to see something.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Oh, perception is actually a skill in this. I forgot.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Perception and intuition.
Correct.
All right, there we go.
You see blood dripping. Like you hear that. You hear the sound of blood dripping.
Okay, can I tell the direction?
It's coming, so it's off to the right inside of what appears to be kind of like a... You ever been in a warehouse that have those walls that don't actually reach all the way up to the ceiling, and there's no roof on them? They're just like walls that kind of separate areas out. It looks like there's a door in one of those walls like that, and there's blood dripping in there.
Okay.
And also give me a clairsentience check. I would like to have one of those too, if you would.
Okay.
Be so kind. A lot of threes. The triple three. And so, I told you about that door down the hall. You are picking up fear. Lots and lots of fear from that room.
Okay. Interesting. So I guess I'm interested in what the blood dripping is, but Yeah, I'll check that out first. I quickly look around the room again, make sure no one is actually moving in here, and move towards where I hear that blood dripping, that door. And this one I am not going to open slowly. I'm going to quickly throw it open and, look around the room, left, right, sweep it.
So it looks like it's a bathroom, right? So this is the room that had the door, right, with the warehouse walls. We're going there, correct? If I understood that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you kick that door open and you see blood, and it appears to be dripping down the wall. And you look up, and there's somebody hanging from their feet from the ceiling up there, naked.
I'm assuming dead.
Oh, deader
Possibly
than
dead.
deader than a doornail. Yeah.
Ugh.
Deader than the world from last night.
Can I put together how they died quickly? Not doing like any in-depth examination.
You see what appears to be a massive puncture wound through their chest. From where you are and how high up they are, it's pretty hard to tell if it was, gunfire, las weaponry, whatever. Big puncture wound through their chest.
That's a new way to use the bathroom. And I turn around and walk back out to the hallway. The whole time just like on edge, waiting for one of these guys to jump out. It's a very strange situation.
Yeah, everyone here seems to be
where
dead.
I felt fear behind it.
Yeah. So you open up that door and you see a crowd of people, maybe like 15 to 20 people, all huddled in one corner of the room, holding on to one another, and they're all just jabbering at you in another language, and they just look incredibly fearful.
Another language?
Yeah.
Very,
Do you speak Spanish?
very roughly.
Okay, well they're speaking Spanish.
I don't know that Judge Null speaks Spanish. Is it just called English in Judge Dredd, or is it like some other word?
It's just English. Just English.
All right. I would step into the room, shut the door behind me, quickly assess if there's any actual threats in this room. Kind of scan over everyone, see if there's any weapons involved that I need to be aware of.
Nope. So you look around the room and you see what appears to be industrial sewing machines, right? Like this looks like it's the equivalent of a Mega City 1 sweatshop.
Okay. English. Does anyone here speak English?
And everyone just kind of looks at each other and they shake their head. Like there's just...
Okay. Any other entrances in this room?
Nope.
Okay. Then I would try and get everyone's attention and just tell them like that and try and get them to quiet down.
And they very much, they know the badge. They show us the badge, by the way, Null. Show us the badge.
Oh yeah, the badge?
Yeah, we need to see that badge. There we go.
That Null badge?
Yeah, that Null badge. You should just walk around. So, they're able to respect that badge and understand it and see it. And, I gotta say, man, this is actually really comfortable to wear. I don't know why.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's actually really nice.
It's the feeling of the law just
giving
you a hug.
That's exactly what it is. It's like I feel the law surrounding me and encompassing me in its glorious, glorious arms. They very much quiet down. They understand your gestures and they comply.
All right. So I would wait for them to try and get them to follow me. I would open that door back up carefully, check that the hallway is clear, and then look behind me and head forward. Basically head down the hallway, turn to make sure that other room that I passed is clear still, and then wave them to like run past me and go up to the roof.
So they all run, they all go. There's no indication that there's anybody left alive in the bathroom, in the that weapons room. They all run up to the roof without any issue.
Okay. So then I would follow them up to the roof, point them like towards the fire escape to go towards that. And do I have any sort of radio contact with the city defense people down there?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So I would just get them on the line. Did that guy have a badge on or anything that I can?
Yeah, he had corporal stripes. So we'll call him Corporal Andy. Corporal
City
Wilkins.
Defense, Corporal Andy, come in.
Yeah, this is Corporal. Go ahead.
This is Judge Null. I'm sending a group of hostages down the fire escape there. Do what you need to do. Check them for any weapons. Make sure there's no perps smuggled in with them. Take care of them.
Roger that. All right, stand down, stand down. And that's when his comm comes off and he starts sending. You can kind of see over the ledge them heading over to that fire escape.
Okay. And that hole in the wall in that room down there, did that lead to another room, or was that hole out to the street?
That hole was the one that blew out into the street whenever you were outside.
Okay. So basically nothing else to look for down that direction, right?
No, just that. So that room that had all the dead bodies in it with all the weaponry and some other stuff that you think you saw is the one with the hole in it. That room, that other room that's on that floor, it's just a massive sweatshop.
Okay. I would actually step back down in there where all of the kind of massacre went on or whatever, and take another minute to examine it, and actually walk around and see if I can piece together somewhat of what happened there. If were all shooting each other or something else came through.
Go ahead and do a perception check. So let's talk about the other stuff that you find in this room. So obviously there's tons and tons of weapons in here. You start to look at the shell casings on the ground and you start to investigate that stuff that's on the table about the time that you hear a H-Wagon coming overhead. And you notice that there's a pile of those inhalers with that oily substance in it. And it looks like a couple of them had been used, but you open up a crate and you find tons of those things just thrown into there. Like, there is probably millions of credits worth of drugs right there. You're kind of looking around at the individuals who are laying on the ground, and it looks like they were all from a similar gang. There's a couple of them that have been shot, but the shell casings are what's really telling here. They were firing in all directions.
Interesting. Okay. Judge Null, Judge Null. The Control, this is Judge Null.
Control, go ahead.
Further exploring this building here, I found a large stash of narcotics. Need that taken care of. I'll continue to explore the building and let you know when the situation's completely under control.
Roger, we have a med judge on station with that H-Wagon. We'll send them up and send a tech judge out to begin confiscating that and send it to the lab.
Understood. Tread lightly. Tell them there's still danger around.
Isn't there always, Judge?
There is indeed. Judge Null out. And I would just head back up to the roof, and over to that other door and head down that way.
Okay. So, that med judge gets the down judge loaded. Apparently, your actions have possibly, at least for now, saved his life. He's not in a body bag, so you definitely did something there. May or may not receive some type of accommodation with the malaise that's in this city right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see with that. The fires are being put out. That med and tech judge, the tech judge shows up, the med judge and tech judge go up there and start rooting around and pulling out the drugs. Not a whole lot here left to do unless you got something specific.
No, I mean, if there's nothing else to explore in the building, I was going to go down to the other door that was on the roof, but is there anything else down there, or just it kind of leads down to the same areas? Same
areas. Nothing too much in that building left to deal with.
Okay. I guess that's it. I would have the, I would be following up on any reports, like if they do any testing on the narcotics, that sort of stuff. See if I can figure out any leads on what the gangs that were involved here and anything like that. And just do a thorough sweep of the building.
Sure. So the sweep of the building pretty much doesn't show too much. It looks like that area was the main area where this gang was operating out of. You start to do investigation around the area. You go down to the guy that splatted on the ground, and you find a little MM tattooed in a heart on his neck. The tech judge is able to come over and run a scan on him, and he pulls up a file, and he's like, yeah, this guy, we got him listed as his name's El Scorpio. It looks like he runs with a group called the Mama Clan.
Mama Clan.
And your med judge is in there. He kind of contacted me, but I'll tell you what, we've seen this drug before. It's new. Just hit the streets. It's called slow-mo. Apparently, it slows down all of your nerve receptors in your brain. Everything just kind of slows down to almost stopping. I can't imagine that fall was a good experience for him. It probably took a while.
It's unfortunate. Do we know the location of this clan?
Not as of right now. We started running scans on all the other bodies out here, and it looks like most of them are either affiliated with the Mama Clan or were runners for them. Nobody from any other rival gang out here, just the Mama Clan.
Alright. Were we able to locate any other gangs affiliated with this this fight here, this shootout? It just seems like they were spraying in all directions. It doesn't make sense.
We don't even know. The Mama Clan is actually, from what we understand, is still pretty small. We've been trying to locate the block that they kind of house up in, but nothing much has come from that. It wouldn't seem like a small gang would have, the kind of firepower to completely annihilate one side. And did you find anybody else in there?
Not really. But what do you make of that? And I would point over to the bathroom and the guy hanging from the ceiling.
He kind of like looks up. He's like, I don't know. Citizens, you know how citizens are. Everyone does stupid shit, trying to find some way to just pass the time and get out of this place for, a few days. Mentally, at least. Maybe you have sky surfers. You ever seen a sky surfer? You ever seen boingers? It's absolutely ridiculous. Maybe the guy was just hanging up there, with this slow-mo, enjoying the feel of the blood rush into his head and got skewered. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, and so this is when the med judge walks up. And he's like, or it's a female. She's like, Judge Null, were you the first judge on scene?
I was not. There was another judge. I believe they're stabilized now.
Roger. So strange thing here. Aside from a few bullet wounds, which appear to be from the guns that are laying on the ground, almost all of these people were killed with an edged weapon.
An edged weapon?
Yes, like a sword or a knife. Like something like a boot knife or similar. Maybe a machete, a spear, something edged. There's both puncture wounds and slash wounds.
I didn't see any perps wielding any weapons like that. It's all spit guns and rocket launchers.
Well, whoever showed, so this is the tech judge speaking, he's like, whoever showed up here killed a bunch of gangsters and then got out without anybody seeing him, maybe we should give him a job. Put him in the payroll.
Listen, Judge. We don't hire vigilantes. You remember that.
Yeah, but we have reserve judges.
I suppose you're right about that. Something strange is going on here. I'll keep investigating. Let me know if either of you find anything.
Roger that. With all the strange shit going on in this city right now, this is just one more bit,
Yeah, and after that, I think I would just walk out of there. I would also want to maybe get a translator, I guess, and try and or see if some translator can talk to all of those hostages, and then maybe they can tell us what happened.
So yeah, you get a translator in, and basically you get told that all of them knew that there was gangsters next door. right? Like, this is where they store the drugs, but you know what? You don't fuck with the gangsters. You fuck with the gangsters, you get killed, you know? And they're just trying to get, you know, a living wage, you know, on top of what the city's giving them with all the robots taking over everything. It's really hard to get a job. So any job will do. And, you know, for the most part, everything is always quiet. They see a lot of people coming in and out, but they never bother them. Everyone just kind of stays their separate ways. They kind of act as a cover, right? And then the gangs are doing their thing, so it was a mutual kind of relationship. It's whenever the shooting started that it was a nightmare, and they just heard screams and the sounds of, you know, metal hitting flesh with that wet, like, just sound, you know, and just the screams, and this one lady, she's like, the screams. It sounded like a devil came for them. It was just the screams.
I would ask them if anyone left the scene, basically, if they know any direction they went, anything like that.
The minute the shooting started, they all just huddled up in a corner and hoped they didn't get hit.
Okay. And there wasn't any other, basically the only exits out of there could have been the roof, that big hole in the wall. Is that pretty much it?
Correct.
Yeah, or the front entrance?
Correct.
So we're dealing with a ghost here, is what Judge Null is thinking.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that Judge Null has dealt with a ghost. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, 100%. It's not the first time, right? You had ghosts trapped inside of a machine attached to a xenomorph skull one time. So, and that's also, did Judge Null shit his pants that time? Was that time? No, I'm sorry, not Judge Null.
Sure.
Judge Steele, right? Judge Steele shit his pants, and Judge Null pointed out that something was a bathroom.
Yes.
I do remember that. Yes. That's one of my favorites. So, anything else you want to do here?
I don't think so. I think I pretty much thoroughly explored the scene, you know, interrogated, investigated, and there's nothing else for me to do here, it feels like.
So back to patrol, heading back to Sector House. What's the battle plan here, Judge? Go grab another frag grenade.
Yeah, stock up my frag grenade there. I guess
That's
I would
cool.
do that.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Make sure, if I can, maybe patch up the one last shot that I did take back at the Sector House while I'm wrapping up this investigation, and then head back out on patrol.
So yeah, absolutely. You get back to Sector House, you strip off your gear, they patch you up. The guy, the med judge that's patching, he's like, really? It's like this. It's a flesh wound, buddy. Come on, you've had worse than this, haven't you? Like, come on.
Might as well take care of it while I'm here.
Yeah, I guess. Whatever, you know. This
Remember
is
that, Judge. You take care of your body while you're out there.
Okay, calm down there, Sector Chief. I got you. It's fine. And he patches you up and, you know, sews it up and everything, and you fill out your paperwork and heading back out on patrol then?
Yeah, I think so.
So you're out there, you kind of do your thing, right? Like, what kind of crimes is Judge Null looking for right now? And if you say every crime, I'm coming through this fucking camera and slapping the shit out of you, but I mean, what is...
I mean, he is for sure, but having some more experience now, he's not stopping, and with the way the city is right now, and not stopping for things like tagging or stuff that the Jews are doing, you know, that
Jews.
you see out there.
I want to re-enunciate that, because I'm gonna have to go in and edit that. It just juveniles, Juve. Yeah, no, you said it right. It's a Judge Dredd thing. I just want to make sure it was clear for the audience and for the video, so that I don't have to go through and edit it. But please continue. So no taggers. What about like tapping or you know, some of the more, you know, the innocuous crimes like boingers?
I think I would. Yeah, I mean, I think I would be probably patrolling somewhat close to the area that I was in, where we just cleared this building and stuff. Mostly looking for violent crimes at this point. You know, using my mental faculties to sense out any sort of, I guess, anger or fear that's escalated to the point of what I would recognize as violence is possibly brewing there. Probably tapping too. I would look for that. That usually leads to some violence.
So if this was Call of Cthulhu, I would have you be doing sanity checks left and right for wanting to tap into the anger of this city, because right now it's almost oppressive, as if like you feel it leeching over from an entire another dimension. And so you're in the middle of a call with two Eldsters, right? One of them tapped the other one, and so very interesting situation. A couple of gray hairs are, one tried to rob the other one, blackjacked her. And while you're in the middle of this, you're taking your notes and everything and making your arrest. By the way, how long are you going to sentence the Eldster that tapped the other one? What's the sentence on that, Judge Null?
For an Eldster, it's tapping. 3 years.
3 years, ISO cubes. They'll be lucky to make it out.
Yep.
So 3
That's
years.
minimum too for tapping. So
it is.
whatever.
It is. You're being nice, Judge Null. The gentle. Does he see the good in this Eldster?
Hopefully, somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there. Hopefully they can get that figured out in the ISO cubes. And so you get a call. Judge Null, this is Control.
Go ahead, Control. This is Judge Null.
Judge Null, we have a rogue psyker we need you to get on. All of our other Psi resources are tapped currently. The psyker is in the middle of a shopping center right now, attacking citizens with their powers.
Can you elaborate on powers?
Judge, I'm going to be dead honest with you. I don't know. What we got is reports of objects and people flying around, people grabbing their heads and falling to the ground. Just strange happenings there.
It's a wide array of powers, then. Do we have any information on this individual?
Negative. Nothing's coming up in our files. It might be somebody from Cursed Earth.
Understood. I'm on the way.
Roger.
Judge Null out.
And so they gave you the coordinates. You're able to go. You go to the shopping center, and there's most of the people have evacuated, but as you kind of approach, you see... We've all seen what happens whenever there's an accident, right? In a populated area, right? People don't clear out. They're all doing this, right?
Yep.
And it's no different. There's a very wide area, and this all feels very reminiscent to your early days of Judge Null, whenever there was a hostage situation, and yet there was a circle of people all standing around. But in the center, you see what looks to be maybe early 20s, white hair, white skin, red eyes, thin to the point of malnourishment. In fact, you can see over or underneath a torn and clothes that were probably discarded by somebody, that kind of stomach, the situation that occurs whenever somebody hasn't eaten, they're malnourished, and yet they still get that bulging stomach area.
Okay.
And you just see this gangly skin. Can't even tell if it's a male or a female, or whatever the appropriate way to say it is, a man or a woman, I guess, or in between. Just standing there holding their head, and they're like, get back, get back, get back.
All right. So I would approach, hands up, not even near the weapon yet, and trying to approach slowly, get their attention on me and away from all the other individuals. And while I'm stepping forward, I'd say, citizens, clear the area. This is a dangerous situation.
And they kind of look at you like this, and then like this.
It's not gonna happen. And I would try and get this person to lock eyes with me, kind of get their attention on me. What's wrong? You said they're talking about someone being after them?
No, they said just get back, That's all they've said so far.
How can I help?
Do you not feel it?
What are we getting back from?
Do you not feel it? Do you not feel it? And then somebody kind of is like trying to get a little too close, like this, and that person literally goes flying across the room and slams into a wall and falls down. And there's this wet, just crunch as they do so. And so that person looks back at you. They're still holding their head, and they're kind of going like this, at you.
All right. I would just like try and shake that off. I mean, I want to go help that person, but I mean, I can't do that right now. So I just look around at everyone else. Do you all want to die? Get out of here.
And so most people are kind of like starting to back up a little bit, but you see some of them going like this over to the body.
God.
Citizens of this are worse than they are now.
I don't know, probably the same they are now, but anyways.
Wow, accurate.
This person in front of me, I'm just gonna try and engage with them. I'm not coming any closer. What is your name? I'm Judge Null.
Jacob! My name's Jacob! Judge! Oh my god, Judge! Do you feel him?
Who? Death?
He's coming. He'll be here soon.
Jacob, do you know how to control your powers?
I came from, and you see kind of people are starting to kind of back up a little bit, and so you got quite a bit of room in between you. So I'm gonna take this off real quick to get the facial expressions going on, right? His eyes are huge, and he's in my mind. I heard him out in the desert. I heard him. He's coming to bring it.
The cursed earth, you were out there?
That's where I live. I came here, but you had to know. The judges had to know.
I know. I've heard him and I've spoken to him. I can help you if you just calm down and come with me. Do you understand?
You've heard him? You've talked to him?
Yes. I am not afraid of him.
Then you already know. You already know. It's too late.
Know what?
I came to warn you. I came to warn you. He's coming. He has his sights set on Mega City 1. Do you know? What do you know about him?
Very little. Now let's come with me and we can talk in a place that's more private and secure.
No, I can't.
Away from these
I came to give my warning and I have to go. I have to go back. I have to protect my family.
What is your warning?
Death is coming, Judge. I tried to tell the judges at the wall, and one of them shot at me, and I left. I ran, and I got through the sewer, and I tried to come here, and I tried to find somebody to tell, and all I could feel is his presence pumping into my mind and squeezing my brain, and he's coming. He's looking. He wants to make this place match his own.
What do you mean by match his own?
He's not of this world, Judge. He's not of this world. His land was once like ours. His land was once like ours with the mega cities. Are you listening to me, Judge? You look like you're... Are you listening to me?
I hear you, Jacob.
Once they had the cities like ours. And yet the people would rebel against the judges, and so the judges had to get more violent. They had to get more violent. And so they realized him and 3 others. They realized that only the living commit crimes. Only the living commit crimes, and if only the living commit crimes, then this crime is life. Therefore, the sentence must be death. And you're starting to see this. Obviously, there's a lot of madness in this individual. And you can kind of see, like, a flux. Like, you almost look into his eyes and you can kind of see, like, his powers want to manifest, but he's trying to control it right now. He comes from a planet a realm of the dead. There's 4 of them. There's 4 of them. And he wants to make Mega City 1 match with his own home.
I'm not gonna let that happen, Jacob.
I hope, Judge. I don't think it's possible. He's too powerful. Every life that he took hardened his soul and made him that much more deadly. There's sisters. There are sisters. There are sisters. There are sisters. There are sisters.
Sisters.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means, but it keeps plaguing into my mind. There's sisters. There's sisters. There's 4 judges and sisters. The Sisters of Death. The Sisters of Death is all I can think. I have to go, Judge. I have to go. I have to get out of here. He's coming. And he's looking for those who can use their minds and mutants and powers and just... He's coming.
Let me escort you out. I'll clear a path for you.
And so he's just kind of holding his head, and he kind of just nods, and he's willing to be escorted by you.
Okay, I would walk in front of him and try and, if anyone gets any, close to him, I got my day stick out. I'm not actually hitting anyone, but I'm prodding forcefully to get people to move.
And so he's kind of keeping his head down, and he's like, you hear voices from the crowd go, "What a freak!" Like, look at this guy. Got his underweighted ISO cube. Send him to the psych cubes. What a fucking freak! And everyone's still like this.
Yeah. So I would keep to my word. I think I would. Can I do like? Yeah, I don't really want to read his mind. I feel like that's gonna really set things off.
What?
Jacob, you said you have family in the cursed earth.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they exactly?
And he tells you, he gives you like an area out there.
Basically, I'm just trying to get at if he really does have a family out there. He
Oh, very much does. Very much does.
I'll stay true to my word, and I'll escort him out to the cursed earth.
All the way home?
Yeah, I would, along the way, try and see if I can prod him for any more information, if there's any other useful things he has to say to me, and let him go out into the cursed earth, because I don't want him in the city killing people.
No, it's going to take
anything.
It's going to take a couple of days.
Oh, right, it's that far. Well, I mean, there are ways to handle, illegals from the cursed earth and getting them back out there, right? So I basically
right, and you could basically, if you wanna push the paperwork through.
Yeah, that's what I would do, is try and get him through quickly. Explain to him that the situation that's happening, and try and comfort him and step him through the process as much as I can, without wasting too much time. I mean, once he's off, then I would be hands off on it. But
so for the most part, what you can get from him is that something is coming, and that there's 4. He calls them the Dark Judges. And yet there's something else. There's these sisters, and that's all he can do. He constantly says if he reaches out any further, they'll take his mind. They'll take his mind.
He was talking about people with psychic abilities, psychers.
Yes.
Judge Death is trying to contact all of them. Basically, is what I got.
That's pretty accurate. And so you fill out the paperwork. You're able to get him out. He seems relieved. He feels like he's done his duty, and he thanks you before he returns to the cursed earth.
All right.
And so while you're at the sector house finishing up some paperwork, Judge Sanchez. Wow, it's been a while for Judge Sanchez.
Yeah.
Judge Sanchez comes up to your area that you're working on. Null?
Judge Sanchez.
Been putting in a lot of hours.
Yeah, it's necessary.
Don't I know it? I got an assignment for you.
What is it?
Right now, all of our resources are tied up. You're going to have to do overtime today. You're going to miss your 8 hours of recoup if you're okay with that.
Of course.
Got 2 missing judges. Trying to keep it quiet right now.
Okay.
This is by the way, this has been going on for probably 2 to 3 days, right? Like everything. You went out on patrol, you dealt with this individual, talking with this individual, going back and forth. It's probably 2 to 3 days.
Okay.
Later. This isn't the first one. No. I know you know we've had some losses recently.
Yes.
But we just had 2 judges go missing doing an investigation. I'd like you to head out there.
Okay. Do we have a file on this already?
No file. Keeping this one off the books until you find out what happened. Then we'll get it on the books. We don't want to scare the citizenry with judges missing. We don't want morale of judges to go down. Right now, there's a malaise across the city, and there's already this deep feeling of despair. We don't want to make it any worse.
I understand completely. Where did this happen? And are they missing? Or were the bodies found?
2 judges were following a violent offender on their lawmasters. The individual got cornered in an alley, and we have their coordinates. It's in between 2 blocks, leading back into a water recycle facility. Judges followed the individual back into the recycle facility, and that's where we haven't heard from them since. It's been about 4 hours.
Did they report any information about the perp before they went missing?
Perp, he gives you a name and, a rap sheet, but it seems like it's just a normal violent offender, no gang affiliation.
All right. I'm on it. Any other information I need to know before I head out?
He kind of thinks for a minute. He shakes his head. He's like, just be careful out there, Null. We need you back.
I'll be back. When I head out.
So you head out to where these individuals were last seen. You find their lawmasters sitting there with the security systems engaged. And you can see that the alley that they were in, there's another bike, different type of bike that's kind of cast off to the side, and you can see down a pathway that leads to that water recycle facility.
Okay. I would examine the area and see if I can find any sort of evidence of, I guess, any fight that broke out or any tracks I can follow.
Perception check.
Okay.
So, from what you could tell, you throw on your IR goggles and you're able to kind of see old foot tracks that led. It looks like two sets of judge boots and a perps. They were running into this water recycle area. Doesn't look like there was a scuffle.
Okay. Before I head in, I'm just going to check the judges' lawmasters, if I'm able to get into them and check the compartments and just see if there's anything in there that might come in handy, just in case there's something that is in there I might be able to use as I'm doing my investigations, that sort of thing.
So you find the standard lawmaster stuff, right? You got a cling net that's in there. You have the law rod on the back of one. It looks like one of the judges took the other law rod. You find another magazine of executioner rounds and a box of or not a box, but a magazine insert of 5 AP rounds.
Yeah, I'm taking those AP rounds.
Yoink! Those are mine.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and add that up.
Head out and try and figure out if I can find these judges.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. Just adding those AP rounds.
Adding those AP rounds to the perception check?
Yep.
Nice.
Here's my check. Or bad rolls.
Wow. Okay, that's fine. You don't perceive anything. It's fine. You're totally okay. Nothing's wrong. Nothing ever happened. You didn't miss anything. I promise you.
Great.
That was just a red herring roll. It's nothing. And so you start to head back into the water recycle facility. What are you doing in there?
Just trying to follow these tracks if I can. Otherwise, just looking around for any movement anywhere. Is this a recycle facility that's all automated, or
yes,
do I know?
That's what I was just about to say. You see just like robot on robot moving things around and doing their thing. So there is constant motion. Not a lot in the ways of cameras or anything, but there are definitely bots moving around.
Okay. Is there any sort of, I don't know, like a master controller sort of thing, an information hub for these kind of stations that a judge could access?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I guess I would try and find that and see if I could get any information from it about people that I've been walking through here, if that's a thing.
Okay, go ahead and do me detect light. No, that's not gonna work. Wow, I really don't know what I could have you do. So you're just gonna have to do a straight logic check. You are not a.
Yeah.
You are definitely not a
tech judge.
Tech judge. So yeah, you go to this central hub and it's just like access denied, right? Like you try to run an override on. Ooh. That's what we could do, Judge Null. You could do a logic check with a law.
Law and logic, all right.
Go ahead and do a freshie. So you're able to kind of use your knowledge of the law and what the machines have to tell you, you know, everything that's put into their AIs and whatnot. And unfortunately, it feels like most of the machinery here is very much single source, right? Like that's it does one thing. You did notice one abnormality, that a machine has been broken in the northeastern sector of the and it hasn't been repaired yet.
Okay, I guess I would go check that out. Still trying to follow those tracks, though. That's the priority. If they happen to go that direction, then maybe they're linked, but otherwise I'm following the tracks. And the whole time I'm using my my psychic powers, trying to pick up on any strong emotions anywhere. Indicating someone's down.
Do me a roll on that one.
Well, for that one, that's my empathy, and it's automatically sets strong emotions within 30 feet.
Very nice. Very, very interesting. Okay, 30 feet. Okay, we're cool with that then. I can work with that. So the tracks kind of disappear, right? Because they're getting old. You're using IR. There's robots treading all over the place. There's water dripping. But it did look like it was heading back towards that northeast sector, but they kind of cut off.
Okay.
And so, are you still going?
Yeah, I think so. If the tracks just stop, I would continue that direction and check out the broken robot. It's an anomaly here. Might as well investigate it.
So you begin to approach that area where that broken robot is, and you can sense somebody's here. And the way that you sense that is through your empathy, because you just pick up on shitting your pants fear.
Okay. All right. So I would have my lawgiver out at this point. I draw that. look around, see if I can actually locate anyone that's around here, but continuing to walk forward. And if I'm not seeing anyone, then I would call out and say, "This is the law. This is Judge Null. Who's out there? Show yourself."
And all you hear is crying in response to that. Give me one real quick. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
So the crying appears to be coming from your right side, kind of hidden amongst some piping.
Okay.
Directly in front of you, maybe 30, 40 feet away, you see what appears to be a slumped body on the ground.
Okay. I guess I would investigate the crying first, but I would be eyeing the body to see if they're moving at all. But I would approach wherever the crying's coming from.
The body is not moving, and you can kind of see this on one of the shoulders. Like you can see a glint of light flashing off of that.
All right, I would quickly approach wherever the crying's coming from and see who that is.
So you see somebody kind of slumped, kind of holding themselves, just weeping, and it looks like it matches the picture of what Sanchez showed you for that rap file.
Okay.
We'll call him Lambro.
All right. Quit. What happened here? Quit crying. Stand up now.
Hold on. Sorry. Not very expressive with that on. That's kind of the point, right? The judge's helmet should be, concealing all of that. And so he's just and you look down and sure enough he has wetted himself and he's very similar to that guy that fell off the roof after you stunned him.
Okay. I'm going to, I don't know if psychic suggestion can work in this way, but I'm going to try and send him a suggestion to breathe deep, calm yourself.
He's like, I can hear you in my head.
I'm a Psi Judge. Now stand, or I'll make you stand.
Are you using the voice on him? He stands up, right? He kind of stands up, he pushes himself up. He is completely unarmed.
What happened over there? And I point to the judge, and at this point, I'm kind of walking towards that judge.
He kind of follows along with you, and he's like staring down at the judge. He's just like, just nothing. He's like over there. Just nothing. It's like the pipes just came alive and took him, and it killed that one. Nothing. Nothing was there.
Where's the other judge? And while I'm asking this, I'd be kneeling down and like checking this judge to make sure he is dead.
Oh, it's very easy to tell. You don't know if it was a he or a she. Because the head is gone.
Oh, okay. Well.
Not only the head, Judge Null, but the spinal column as well.
Huh. Okay.
Why the laugh, Sev? What's going on?
It just reminds me of the what would be known as a yautja.
Yeah, take a look at the stream real quick. Now you can actually take a look.
Oh God. Oh no. All right. So I would. So this guy's saying that the pipes were literally and killed him. It's interesting.
And so he's like this. All of a sudden there was a bright flash of lights, and then a flash, and then that head was just gone, and the body of the other one he took, whatever it was, it took it.
It took the body. What do you mean, whatever it was?
I couldn't see it. It looked like it was just a wall. It just came out. It was like something was there, but it wasn't.
So at this point, am I pretty far from like the entrance? Like, is it going to take me some time to get back there if I want to drag the judge's body back?
Yes.
Okay. All right, then at this point, I just kind of make note of where this body is, and I'm going to try and escort this perp back out of here.
And so
Follow me. Stay close.
And so he stays close. He's like, so what the fuck, man? What can just kill a judge like that? What just fucking just it was in whatever it was. It just like it was there and it wasn't. It just fucking killed two of them. You're not. This is it, man. This is the real apocalypse. This is it.
What's the lighting like in this area? I imagine I'm thinking of just a colossal amount of like pipes and large vats and things all around me.
Yeah, pretty dark, right? Like very, very dark. The robots really don't need light to work. So yeah, that's a good description. There's just pipes everywhere and a constant drip of water, and just it's pretty dark.
Okay. Yeah, I would flip on my IR and just look around everywhere right now as I'm heading back towards the way I came.
So, before you are you looking around the area that you were just in with that body? With IR, or did you put the IR on after?
I guess I would flip the IR on when I'm about to head out, but I would kind of check where he's talking about the pipes reaching out and killing. Basically seeing if there's any other evidence of like the weaponry used here.
So go ahead and give me some type of an investigation check. I'll let you pick what you want to do.
I guess it would just be perception.
That's fine.
It's a pretty good one.
Was that a critical? I couldn't see. Sorry.
It's not.
The color with this lens just does not. I cannot see it very well. So you see, first off, near the body that doesn't have the head, you see a black mark where it looks like almost like plasma struck the ground, and a spray of blood that's all the way around it. You also see that the individual on the ground has a massive cut through their armor, which is what likely killed them. And then what you see is a blood trail going up onto pipes above, but you see this fluorescent green color there.
Oh. If I can reach that, or if I can climb up to it, I would definitely do that. Fortunately, I didn't bring a investigation kit with me this time, but I want to check that out.
And yeah, one of the things that you would notice is that the one that has the spear, the puncture wound through their chest, their lawgiver had been fired a couple of times.
Okay.
So these weren't just some scrub judges. So yeah, you're able to get up there, and you kind of see this trail of this green stuff, and then all of a sudden it stops.
I would look at this. What was his name again? I just forgot.
Lambro.
Okay, that's right.
How could you forget that?
I mean, Judge
yeah.
Null.
I mean, the name Lambro is pretty forgettable, right? Like, I mean, it doesn't really strike fear or anything as a captain in your heart, right? Sorry, continue.
But I guess Judge Null wouldn't really even refer to him by name, anyways. Citizen,
scrub.
Do you know what this is?
It's like, what are the? I was standing here, and the judges were here, and then all of a sudden that bright flash of light, and then one of them started popping off rounds over my shoulder, and there was a splat. This green just went whoosh, like onto the wall. And it's like that's what that stuff was. That's what it looks like.
A splash after fire, a trail. Could be blood.
Man, I don't know. Can we just get the fuck out of here, please?
Keep your eyes open. That's probably when I would flip on the IR and just be looking all around me as I'm, up waiting for something to jump out from above again.
No, nothing jumps out at you.
But I would try and escort this perp back to the entrance I came in through. Into a catchpole, probably.
Do a perception check as you go.
All right. Oh wow. Okay, sure.
So you don't really notice too much. You feel eyes upon you, but that's about it. And it's more just your mental sense that picks this up than it is you actually perceiving what it is, where it is. But you feel watched.
Okay. I would just keep looking around, waiting for something to jump out at me, but I'm continuing to escort this perp. If I make it to the entrance again with no incident, then I would have more words for him.
Okay, so you make it to the entrance with no problem. There's a perp pole nearby. You're able to lash him up if you want. What are you doing?
Why were you being chased?
Man, I tapped some guy. Judges saw me. They checked my rap sheet, saw a violent offender. I ran because, man, I go to ISO cubes this time. It's going to be the long haul.
Sure is. I'd cuff him up to the pole. Control, this is Judge Null.
This is Control. Go ahead.
I got a perp here. I'm sentencing him 10 years, ISO cubes.
10 fucking years?
Tapping and fleeing from a judge.
Roger that, Judge Null. 10 years, ISO cubes. We'll have a pat wagon inbound.
I'm also gonna need you to patch me through to Judge Sanchez.
Roger that. Stand by. Judge Sanchez, go ahead.
Judge Sanchez, this is Judge Null. I found the judges, at least one of them, their body.
Are they both dead then, you think?
I believe so. The perp was here alive. It's the strangest thing. The perp says that they were killed by something that he couldn't see. It was almost as if the pipes reached out and killed them. An energy weapon seems to be involved. There's some green substance that seems like blood. Something's not adding up. But we have one judge body here on the site that I can locate. The other one I'll still look for.
Don't bother, Judge Null. I need you to return back to the sector house immediately.
Understood. Are you sending something out here to pick up these bodies?
I'm sending a Holocaust squad out.
That's probably the good choice to go with.
We need to get you briefed in here, Judge Null.
Understood. I'll be there as fast as I can. Judge Null out.
Heading back to Sector House. Going to try to stop any crimes on your way?
I don't think so. I think I would just get there as quickly as I can. It sounds like there's something I really need to know linked to the situation, the way Sanchez was talking.
And so you head back to the sector house, and the heat, it feels like it's just getting worse, and it feels like the city is just right on the brink of explosion. It's a terrible, terrible feeling as you go, and you can just feel the pulse of this, like almost like the black heart of the city beating inside of your head. And it just feels like it's getting worse and worse. And it feels like the city is probably on the perpetual eve of dusk, with rain always on the horizon, but never coming in to wash away the hate and the anger and the angst and the violence and the blood. And while all of this is happening, you just continue to feel like you're being watched. Now, you can't tell if that's psychic or if you're actually being watched.
Yeah. Okay.
So you make it back to the sector house. And Judge Sanchez is waiting for you, and he's like, come on. Come with me. We need to go.
Okay.
And so he takes you to one of the main places where there's monitoring, right? Like the city's monitored. And you see that the sector house chief is there. There's an individual standing there that's wearing the clothing of a retired, or not a retired judge, because judges don't really retire, right? They either head down into the Undercity or they head out into the Cursed Earth. But he looks like one of those types of judges that possibly has come back. And the other thing that you notice is a woman, a blonde-haired woman who looks very sleekly built, strongly built, is constantly itching at her hair. And she's wearing plain clothes, but she has a Psi Judge badge pinned to her lapel. But it looks smaller than yours. It looks different, but it's a Psi Judge badge. And all three of these individuals are waiting for you and Sanchez as you approach.
I would just kind of look between them and turn to Sanchez. Judge Sanchez, what's going on here?
He's like, if we had a firm answer, I wouldn't have sent you out without the information, Judge. I'd like to introduce you to Judge Rico. I'm sorry, no wait, we can't do that. Wrong judge. Forgot, it was going from our Shiver name last night. Sorry, this is Judge Keys. Judge Keys is a retired judge. Took his oath, headed down into the Undercity. We called him back, and this judge, he just looks old and gristled, right? Like, and he kind of nods his head towards you. You know your sector house judge, obviously. And he says, this is Reserve Psi Judge Aline Schaefer.
Reserve Psi Judge.
Mm-hmm. She washed out of Academy. Couldn't make it through the Psi program, and she looks really bitter about that. You can see whenever he mentions that, she kind of like looks down and looks away. We've kept her on as a consultant. We have a very... Go ahead, sorry.
No, that's it. Judge Null just kind of lets out a little laugh at the consultant from a reserve Psi Judge that flunked out.
Listen, the sector house judge looks at you and says, Judge Null, I understand your misgivings for the reserve officers, but understand that, especially with everything that's been happening, we need every able body that we can in order to keep the peace. Reserve Psi Judge Schaefer has a very unique history, and Judge Keys here also does as well. So we need to talk. And so you see, actually the death from above thing was where the Rico name came from, but I forgot in the Judge Dredd world, Rico has a very, very different connotation to it, so we're not going that route. And so you see the woman, and she's kind of like standing there, just itching her hair, and she's like, no fucking way. There's no fucking way. No fucking
way. What?
And you start to feel her reaching out and touching your mind.
Interesting. Okay. I let her do that. And then I'm going to man, how do I want to handle that? Actually, I don't. I block her off completely because I'm sure I can just swat her away like a fly.
Are you sure that you can swat her away like a fly?
We'll see, I guess.
Let's try. That's how
Null is feeling, is this flunky's not going to even be able to touch me.
Yes, Judge Rico was Judge Dredd's brother, clone brother, and became an evil judge and is been back and forth. I think he's dead at this point in time, but he's been to Titan and all that. All right, so we're gonna do a telepathy off.
Okay.
All right, so telepathy away.
I mean, I wasn't even trying to do that. I was just gonna use my mental defense and let her try.
Okay, if you want to do that, that's fine. You ready?
Yeah. Damn. Yep.
It doesn't pierce that though. Yeah, yours is like 25 or some ridiculous amount, right?
Yeah, 25.
Jesus Christ. Okay, more dice next time. And so she you can feel her, and she kind of just huffs. She's like, whatever, you know. And she's like, so she looks back to the sector house, and she's like,
and I send just before anything else happens, and she, huffs, and I just send her a telepathic message, which is just that free action exploit I have, and I say with my mind, "Don't try that again."
And you feel the exact same kind of thing come right back at you, and she's like, "I'll do what I want."
Yeah, I would turn to the others and see what they've got to say.
And so the three, Sanchez and the sector house and this Judge Keys are all watching you, and they're like, "What the fuck's happening?" And so Judge Sanchez looks at Null, and he's like, "Are you done flexing?"
What are we here for, Sanchez?
And so he walks over and he looks to the sector house chief, like, for permission, and so now that I'm not playing another role, playing a judge, let's get this back on. And so he punches up a thing. He's like, "All the information you're about to receive is classified on the highest order." And he pulls up a picture of a bunch of men who look like they're from the late 20th, right? They're all wearing camouflage utilities. One of them has a rotary grenade launcher. One of them has a minigun of all fucking things with a hat kind of pushed up on the brim and a big old, dip. You got a goofy guy with glasses. Like, there's just a Native American with this gigantic ass knife standing there, and a bald black man. And he says, and you see Schaefer kind of flinch when she sees the picture. Because in the center of that is this big, beefy motherfucker, right? It looks like he could throw a knife and it would stick through somebody and he'd say, "Stick around," right? And it's like this was a team of, I guess the best thing to call it would be mercenaries. There's a rescue mission that went bad. They had a run-in with some type of a creature out in the jungle. Only one of them and a woman survived. That man's name is Dutch Schaefer. And so he pulls up another picture, and you see a picture of a middle-aged black man that looks like he might be too old for this shit. He says, there was another run-in with this creature, this time in the former city of Los Angeles, over where Mega City 2 now is. Again, we saw a lot of police deaths, we saw a lot of police deaths, a lot of gang deaths. But this individual, this creature, it was a different one, would take trophies. Oftentimes the skulls and spinal columns of individuals, but if it had enough time, it would skin them. And then he punches up another thing. It's like, one of the things that we found is that these creatures thrive in the heat. And he looks to Judge Keys, and he says, Judge Keys was a cursed earth judge that had a run-in with one of these creatures, what? He's 20 years ago or so? And he nods. And he says, but it was out in the cursed earth. He said that this creature would find the most potent prey that it possibly could and would hunt them. The technology that it has is well beyond our own. During the time of this, and he goes back to the picture of the black man, and he says, during this time, it was determined that the creature sees an infrared, and they were able to use that to their advantage. They were also able to nullify, if you would forgive the pun, the cloaking device that this creature uses. When Judge Keys ran into this creature, it barely showed up on infrared, and it seems that its cloaking technology has improved. We're not able to get a lock on this creature. We believe it's somewhere in the city. We now know that at least 4 judges have been killed by this creature. You confirmed these last 2. We think it's starting to target judges. From what we understand, it looks for the strongest prey that it possibly can to test itself against. The Special Forces group. This law enforcement officer before all of our, before the changes that we did to create judges. It's never been in Mega City 1 before, but we believe with the satellites going awry, we believe we have one here.
Satellites, and you say this creature has technology. Where does it originate from? Are we talking about an alien?
We are talking about an alien, Judge. Not uncommon here, but we don't run into very many hunter creatures coming in to stop at Mega City 1 to have a go.
So we have an alien in our city hunting judges that we can't track, and we don't know where it is.
That is accurate. The reason why I sent you, Judge, is because I believe with your psi powers that you might be able to track this creature if you were... I don't know. And then he looks to that other woman, he's like... Reserve Psi Judge Schaefer is the great-great-granddaughter of the man you saw in the first picture. We kept her on retainer in case something like this would ever happen. We think that she might have some type of a link if she could get over her substance abuse. And we believe that you might be one to track this creature down.
I'll do what I can. And I will say that ever since I found that judge's body, I feel like something's been watching me.
And when you say that, the woman just laughs. Like, she kind of chuckles underneath her breath and shakes her head.
Why don't we, send her for some time in the ISO cubes? That might break that substance abuse.
And she kind of just shrugs her shoulders and she says, if that's what you want to do, you don't want my help, that's fine. I'll go sit in the ISO cubes, have me a rest. That's fine. Do whatever you gotta do, Judge.
You break the law while you're out there with me, and that's where you'll be. Remember that.
And you just see her kind of going...
Null's not fazed by it at all.
No, I'm sure Null isn't.
So many times.
So she is... Null is not fazed by her, and she is not fazed by Null.
Yeah. Alright.
So...
Do we have any leads on this thing right now? Anything at all?
And so Sanchez looks to Keys, and Keys kind of steps forward, and he has this deep, gravelly voice. This man is older than old, right? Like, the things have not been kind to him. And he says, They come from outer space. The creature had to have had a ship. I asked your sector house chief to check any records of the ship landing somewhere inside of the city, of any, abnormalities like that. It doesn't appear that there was. My best guess is then that this creature landed in the cursed earth and made its way into here. There's something odd about this. One of the reasons why I came back is, number one, your sector house chief called to me and asked me to come back. Number two is I found a few bodies out there that were flayed of skin. I did not think that this creature would return. I don't think it's the same one. This creature hunted in the cursed earth. it took psychers, it took mutants, and it took the massive creatures that you can find, and then it left. Why would it then come to the mega city after only taking a body or two out there? It does not seem to make sense. There is something different about this one.
Do you know what is different about this one other than just being a different alien, different individual?
Let me ask you this, Judge. You serve the law, yes?
Always.
You are standing on the corner of a street, and you see in one side of the street, you see a man with a knife to another's throat. And you look down the other corner of the street, and you see somebody spray painting something on the wall. Which of the crimes do you go to, Judge?
The violent one with the knife, of course.
What is more violent, Judge? The citizens of Mega City 1? Or the raw desolation? The evil creatures? Judge, I saw what could only be described as a dinosaur out in the cursed earth. You've been there. You've seen the things that are out there. What's more deadly, Judge? I mean no disrespect. I was a judge in your same position. What's more deadly, Judge? One with a lawgiver, or a creature that walked this earth 600 million years ago?
The judges, of course, but I think what you're getting at is that we're a more worthy game for this predator.
That's my I had to take that off for just a second because that made me smile. That's my very point, Judge. While I respect the hell out of every single judge that still wears a badge, we are not nearly as deadly as some of the things that are out there in the cursed earth. If something was attempting to test itself, it would have hunted there. Why would it come to a city filled with people who can barely function and judges who are overworked, who are constantly just trying to survive? What kind of a test is that? It's not, Judge. You are all overworked. There's so few of you. You're dying. There's something happening in this city. I don't think that it brought this thing here. Why would it hunt in a city?
If these aliens have any sort of agenda or work for someone, maybe they don't always hunt for sport or proving to themselves, as you might say.
And that you hear
there's something else behind it.
You hear the woman laugh again.
Are you gonna say anything helpful and productive, or just laugh over there?
Are you gonna sit there and just quote the law at me and tell me you're gonna put me in an ISO cube, or are you gonna say something useful, Judge? Do you want my opinion? Are you gonna ask my opinion, or are you gonna pass judgment before you even know any of my crimes?
Let's hear it.
I know these creatures. My great-great-grandfather killed one of these things with tools made of wood and vine. The stories were passed down to us. And when I came into my own Psi abilities, I could feel the touch of one of these creatures out there in the cursed earth with your Judge keys over here. I could feel it. I can't feel it in this city, though, because of all of the anger and the hate. These creatures aren't to be bought, Judge Null. They cannot be bought. They are hunters, and that is all. Their whole society is based on proving themselves. Let me ask you this, Judge. What is your major goal in life?
To uphold the law.
Can you be bought?
No.
I have 1,000,000 credits. I will buy you right now, Judge. Would you take my 1,000,000 credits and go somewhere else?
No, but let me tell you. You know about psychic abilities. You know a mind can be broken, even my own. Is that not also an option?
These creatures don't have the same psi abilities that humans have begun to mutate. They are brawn, gristle, meat, and cunning. They are hidden strikers from out of nowhere. They take their trophies and they leave. That is all they care about. They are not to be compelled. They are not to be controlled. Nothing can control these things. They are a force unto themselves. If they were to take the slightest inkling of organizing themselves in such a way, they could have ruled this galaxy by now. But they don't. Instead, they test themselves as individuals. There's no way one of these could have been broken. There's something wrong with this creature. I need to be near this creature, and I think that I can touch its mind. Did you find anything out there? Did you find anything that belongs to it?
I found a green liquid.
It's blood. The
That's
stories
what I
say that
gathered as well.
that means that if it bleeds, we can kill it. But, okay, that's besides the point. Did you bring any of the blood?
No, I didn't have anything on me to take a sample at that point.
What are you training these individuals to do? Gods be damned.
You would have known if you had it dropped out.
She kind of puts her hand over her heart like, oh, I'm so sorry that I couldn't live a life of, never having tasted a beverage or having sex with an individual. I'm sure.
Don't even listen to her. I just turn to Judge Sanchez and say, where do we start, Sanchez?
Sanchez kind of shrugs his shoulders and he's like, I don't know, Judge Null. I really hate to say that I don't want to wait for the next death. But I think that might be where we are.
We're keeping this classified. We're not going to let the other judges know that they're being hunted.
We are going to send out an APB that there is possibly an alien out there hunting them, yes. Now that we have confirmed what it is, we're going to make sure that judges are going out in at least trios when we can, and we're warning them to beware of camouflaged individuals that might spring traps on them. We're not going to tell them about the nature of the beast, but to keep their eyes peeled for this type of thing, to look for trophies that were taken, to skins of skulls, of spinal columns. I don't think, Judge, that he kind of shakes his head and he looks at the sector house chief, and the sector house chief nods. He's like, yes, we're going to tell them. But there's only so much that we can do, Judge Null, and you know that.
I do. Keep sending the information my way. The only thing I can do right now is patrol.
In this reserve, Judge?
Does she know how to ride?
She kind of like... She's like, of course I do. I failed out of the Psi portion of the Academy, Judge. I passed all of my law classes, applied violence, the ranges, I passed all of that. I failed during Psi school.
And you want to rely on that Psi ability?
I was too young to control it at the time, Judge.
I'll take whatever help I can get right now. We're desperate. It's obvious. If there's nothing else, I'm gonna begin my patrol immediately.
And so I think that's a good point for us to take a break. We're going to be running pretty long today, if that's okay, Judge Null?
Yeah, I could play for at least another hour, I think.
Okay, so let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break just to refresh, rearm, re-up, and then we're going to send you out on patrol.
Okay.
All right. Citizens, we will return in 5 minutes. Stand by. Welcome back, citizens, to Judge Null in the worlds of 2000 AD. When we last left off, Judge Null was heading out on patrol to hopefully find at least some sign of this alien creature who has come to Mega City 1 in order to hunt some of Mega City 1's finest. So where exactly are you going to head out on patrol, my friend? What's on your mind?
Yeah, I don't know. So I would, it sounds like this reserve Psi Judge is going to be having a lawmaster of her own to follow me around on.
And she does not wear armor, and she does not carry a weapon.
Okay, but has the little
Psi Judge badge.
Badge, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess I would just patrol around the last known location where I'd been to that recyc facility, kind of just start there and kind of spiral outwards, maybe even stop there if I forgot her name now. Was it
Schaefer?
Schaefer, that's right. Okay. If Schaefer thinks that it's worth it to stop in there, if she wants to, if she claims that she might be able to touch this thing's mind, maybe stop back in there and see if she can pick up anything.
So she absolutely thinks
it's anything at all.
Yeah, she absolutely thinks it's worth it. But by that time, the blood has dried up completely, and she just shakes her head and she's like, "If I'd have been here sooner, maybe I could have treated this as something of it reached its mind." So, are you going to be working on crimes during this time?
Yeah, I'm not just going to aimless. I mean, I still have to do my job, I guess. We're not enough judges to go around, so for sure. I would definitely still continue to prioritize and only go after either violent crimes or things that are more damaging like that, and just not even worry about any of those tagging and stuff like that.
So Sanchez, you spend your days then, patrolling around with her, and she's pretty quiet for the most part. You spend your days out there patrolling around, seeing what you can find, and you're actually informed by Sanchez that he says if you ever need to go into a situation where there's a possibility to encounter this creature, we have a war droid that we can dispense to your location as long as we have enough time to get there. So if you end up needing it, we can do that, and you can thank Turg for that one.
All right.
And so 3 or 4 days go by. 2 different things happen during those days, and we can handle each one of these if you want to go investigate it. Sanchez would definitely let you know that this happened. The first is very similar to your first encounter, where a group of gang members, armed to the teeth, were completely slaughtered. Not a single drop of blood was found, at least the green blood. From what you could tell, there was several bodies missing. There's heads missing. And you actually find the flayed bodies of several of these gang members. Is there anything you'd like to investigate at this particular site?
I would let Schaefer try and do whatever she needs to do, whatever she thinks she can do. But otherwise, I would be looking for... I'm just gathering all the information I can about how this thing fights, the weapons it uses, what I need to prepare myself for, and if it left any tracks.
So it definitely did not leave any tracks. In fact, it doesn't even look like it was tagged this time at all. For the most part, you find in these bodies the puncture wounds, some type of bladed weapon. It's almost like you could kind of trace the way that it fights. The first thing it does is it uses a plasma-based weapon to eliminate anybody on the exterior. Then it moves in and causes chaos, being in the middle, trying to cause crossfires, trying to make basically these individuals do its job for them while it goes through and it guts them with short-bladed weapons and a spear-type weapon. This time you find something else a little interesting. Schaefer's kind of wandered around, and she stops by a wall, and she puts her hands up on the wall, and she touches something, and she kind of jerks her head to the side just a little bit, and she kind of feels on it. And then she pulls this spike out of the wall, and she brings it to you open-handed and offers it out to you.
I would take it and closely examine it.
So you look at it, it's about yay long. The end of it is a spike, and then it kind of flares out to be about that big. And you look inside, and you see what appears to be some type of a micro engine with, I don't know, it looks like some type of line attached to it. Almost like in a net shape, but it's only a small piece. It looks like it was cut.
Okay. We need to get this to a tech judge.
She's like, well, just hold on. Did I not tell you I need to find something of this creature in order to, before... Just, can I have a few minutes with it before we leave? Is that okay? Are you fine with that?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Hurry up and do your work.
Hurry up and do your work. You couldn't see it, but I rolled my eyes. So she grabs it and she kind of just holds it and communicates with it. And she's just like holding it. She's kind of rocking back and forth a little bit. God, I can use a drink right now. And she's kind of just holding it and holding it. And she jerks her head to the side. And she squints. So hold on, we need visuals for it. So she's kind of holding it. It's definitely it's there's something wrong. I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know. And she just kind of like goes like this, like throws the thing to you.
All right, I catch it. You need to start proving that you're actually useful. I just head back to my...
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me, Judge. I'll talk to your back if I have to, but how many people have you stopped from getting killed? Did you stop all this?
Rev up my lawmaster. Let's go.
And so she revs up her lawmaster. She's like, did you stop any of this? Have you found it? You better watch your fucking mouth with me.
And then Judge Null just heads out back to the sector house. I want to give that to a tech judge and see what we can learn from it.
So whenever you do this, right, you feel her reaching out to your brain again. You're just gonna let your... I'm just gonna let my mental fortitude...
Pretty much.
Okay. You can kind of feel it starting to penetrate in just a little bit, though. Like, she almost gets it. Like, you kind of feel like a spike, a tendril begin to reach into your mind, and then it kind of whips back out as the barriers that you've put up against other psychic energies kind of blocks it. And she just sneers at you, and she's like...
Null puts up with it for now.
Null.
For now.
Oh, Null is such a trooper. Alright, so you head back, you get it to a tech judge. The tech judge immediately starts work on it. He's like, I don't know what you want me to pull from this, Judge, but I can tell you a couple things. Number one, it looks like this thing had some type of a net attached to it. And once it hit the wall that it was embedded in, this micromotor started spinning, and it tightened up the net. This looks like it's some type of a tool to hold something in place, and then whenever it got its prey, it cut the top of it off. The metal itself it's not... I mean, it's some type of an alloy that we don't have here. It's super light. It cuts like steel. I mean, we have duranium and all that stuff, and but that stuff's really heavy. This is probably nearly as strong, and yet it's super light.
Okay. So I don't think I would have any other questions for the tech judge, so I just kind of thank him and head back on the patrol.
And so, sorry, go ahead.
I think Null would be kind of baffled a little bit, maybe impressed, trying to put together a mental picture of, because they didn't actually show me any pictures of what this creature, what this alien looks like, did they?
Nope.
So Null right now is probably picturing like this, maybe something kind of really big, but very agile in some way, maybe even not bipedal, maybe something like with many appendages or something. This thing's able to like take out so many opponents and also take these trophies, like whole bodies and stuff, without leaving a trace.
Do you think it might look like Jean-Claude Van Damme in a red rubber suit?
Yes.
That's exactly what it looks like. And so, yeah, you know, that's a very interesting take because you haven't seen what it looks like. But unfortunately, 3 judges did see it and did not live to tell the tale about it. A trio of judges, you're informed that a trio of judges have gone off of the radar. And their last call is that somebody just got hit with an energy-based weapon. Are you heading to that scene?
Yeah, definitely. And I would try and see if I can get an H-Wagon to come out there with me too, to like just search the area and the surrounding, just circle around, you know, set up a perimeter.
So that H-Wagon gets on station. Yeah, you basically got, whenever it comes to this thing, you got a lot of control on, you know, getting some backup and stuff. So let's get out to the site, and you're starting to get that sense of being watched again. And
Schaefer.
What?
Do you feel that?
Feel what? You being an asshole again?
Something's watching.
Yeah, I'm looking at you.
You're gonna get me killed here. And I just start examining the scene.
So she kind of like puts her hands on her hips and kind of stands there and looks around, and maybe she did understand what you meant, because she kind of closes her eyes for a few minutes while you're doing the investigation. And so you get there, all 3 of the law masters that these individuals were on are on fire. So it's, sorry, give me 1 second. Let me finish setting up the scene. So it's a little spread out, okay? It looks like the first law master was hit, and then something set fire to the other 2. You find one body that is hung from a girder beside the road, and it looks like the beginnings of skinning was done on it while it was still alive. Don't know if it was a man or a woman. Probably can tell from the badge. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I mean, I would just look around. Same thing, trying to see if I can find any trace of where this thing went, any tracks. Make sure I get a meat wagon in here, but otherwise just generally exploring this area, investigating for anything else that I haven't seen yet.
Go ahead and do a perception check.
Okay. Yeah, that one's a critical. I don't know, does that matter outside of combat? I don't remember.
Oh yeah, absolutely it does. So, you're noticing something on this one that's a little different than the others. A lot of this was done from a distance. Even the one that was wounded before being skinned, you see that there's a projectile, a metal projectile sticking out of their chest. You can't see the other bodies, but you can see a lot of plasma burns on the ground. It's almost like it was done from a distance, where a lot of this stuff has been like, let's do it face to face. These were all done from a distance. And you notice that the computers on these lawmasters were deliberately set on fire, like they were destroyed, they were specifically targeted.
Okay. I don't think I have any equipment to do it, but I would want to try and put out those fires.
Yeah, there's always, on your lawmasters, there's firefighting tools.
Okay, yeah, I would put out those fires. I would actually call in Control. This is Judge Null.
This is Control. Go ahead.
I need a tech judge out here immediately to investigate this area with me. Need to pull some data out of these lawmasters.
Roger. We'll have the H-Wagon come in, pick one up, and bring it out to you.
Understood. So, I mean, I would just kind of investigate the area a little bit more while waiting for the tech judge. But once the tech judge gets out there, I would want them to take a look at I would pull out the metal spike or whatever that was in the body, look at that, and also try and pull up anything from the lawmasters at all. Any data or anything.
So given the last time that you did a computer check, we're not even going to try. The difficulty would be a little too high. But you pull this metal piece out of this half-skinned judge. You see the judge's equipment all kind of laid around. So basically what happened was this person was killed, and then they were drug up and hung upside down while they were still alive, and then all of their equipment was cut off and tossed onto the ground. A couple things that you notice here. The lawgiver was picked up at one point. Almost like, so it's not in the holster. And it's near where the holster would be. It was reviewed. It was looked at. But it did not blow up. It was almost like it was casually tossed to the side, and you start to kind of notice that a lot of the gear was rooted through. And there was something else I wanted to say. Yeah, you're not going to be able to get anything off the Lawmasters. And so Sanchez kind of, or sorry, not Sanchez, Schaefer kind of comes over and is like, what are you looking at?
It looks like it was looking through everything. It was looking for something. It destroyed these Lawmasters. I feel like we're missing something here.
I didn't ever do my, field test. But this, what was it? They're bleepers.
Yeah.
Do you wear one? Is that standard at all?
I have a bleeper.
But do you wear it? Like, is there a way that I could track you?
Yes. I could wear it.
Do you
What's
think
the
any
point?
Can you take a fucking minute and give me a second to think? You're not coming up on anything. You're over here looking at a skinned-ass body. Is that okay? Can I have a second?
I'm waiting.
I'm waiting. We need Steel here. Where's Steel when you need him?
Yeah.
So she kind of thinks, and she's like, these things are brutal, but they're not dumb. Okay? You can't develop space travel and be stupid, right? What did it go through? Did it pick up anything around here?
I would just kind of motion to all of the stuff laying around. It picked up their lawgiver. It looked through everything.
Wait. It picked up their lawgiver and it didn't blow up?
Yes.
Do you have a way to track other judges' bleepers?
That might be a question for a tech judge.
Okay. I know what you're talking about, feeling watched. I feel it now, too.
Good.
There's something out there.
Glad your abilities are actually being useful.
Oh, tell me about your abilities being useful there, Psi Judge Null. That's pretty much what you've done.
I don't have enough time to explain everything I've done with them.
Explain everything I've done.
Are you insinuating this might be a judge we're dealing with?
Why would it be a judge?
Or are we tracking down one of the missing judges with the bleeper?
I'm saying that if... So how many bodies do you see? Tell me that. I know that's not a psychic power thing, but tell me how many judges you see.
How many bodies are actually there? Is it just the
Just the one hanging. Just the one hanging.
There are two missing. There was also the one missing before from the initial encounter I had.
So it takes judges. It takes them. It takes them as trophies, and it probably does its thing whenever it actually has time to do what it wants. Do you think that any of these people were smart enough to possibly get a bleeper onto it, get a bleeper onto themselves, Why else would this thing be destroying their equipment? It has to have known about our technology.
It's worth looking into.
She kind of grabs her head. She kind of looks down for a second. And she shakes it out.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I think that's... She might be onto something there, and I would try and, again, I mean, is there... I don't think there would be any sort of registry that I could track other judges with on my lawmaster, so I'd probably have to contact a tech judge or maybe go back to Central, or to the sector house.
Well, you got a tech judge on the way who just happens to arrive right now.
Okay.
So
I'd explain that situation and ask, is there any way that we can track down a judge based on their bleepers that they were issued?
It's a tough one. Usually a judge codes out the bleeper, throws it onto an object, and uses that code in order to track it. I doubt I could pull up a code. These lawmasters were really messed up. Something really did not want the information on these lawmasters to get out. Is this that thing?
It is.
Judge Null, this is Control.
Control, this is Judge Null.
Judge Null, we need you to head to the construction site of, and then she gives you a series of numbers. We just had a report that your creature may have been spotted.
Can you elaborate on that?
We have 3 citizens that are living inside of a condemned building that reported that they saw the helmets of judges without their bodies.
I'll be on the way. Judge Null out. So I guess I would pack up. I would let the tech judge there know that I would want any information he finds from the scene. But otherwise, pack up and bring Schaefer with me to this new location.
And so Schaefer's like, where are we going?
Another location. They found judge helmets, heads without the body.
Sorry, give me 1 second here. It's the screen through a screen, and a screen that's dark. It makes it really hard to see anything with the helmet. This is not a, I think it might be polarized. There we go.
And I would, as we're heading out, before we do, I'd just say to Schaefer, I'm sure you already know this, but this thing is leading us on.
I take that as a compliment, Judge.
I think it's only inevitable that we're gonna run into this and have a deadly encounter.
Maybe. If it's picked you as its primary prey, though, it's probably going on a toy with you for a little bit.
Stay vigilant. And when the bullets start flying, get into cover.
My great-great-grandfather's report said that it only kills armed individuals, so I think I'll be okay.
Unless it recognizes that your mind can be a weapon.
She's like this, right? She's like...
Yeah.
Just like...
And then I would head out to this new site.
So you head, it's not too far away, you head to this area. It's a condemned building. Looks like it was an old apartment building, or a single-story apartment building. It has a gothic look to it, and whenever you get there, you see three individuals that look like they've seen better days. Probably been living on the streets for quite a bit of time, standing outside, waiting. Think that you should be on that map now, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I only have to send the map to one person, I don't drop any frames.
Yeah. I pull up on my Lawmaster, dismount, and start approaching these individuals.
And so you see one of them... I mean, you know what? This is how I'm going to do this. This is the problem. The problem is that everything's dark and none of my people have light.
Oh, yeah.
Or not. There we go. Alright, so you whenever you pull up on your Lawmaster, are you staying on it? You getting off?
Oh, I get off and approach them.
So Schaefer's kind of hiding out behind you, and one of these vagrants comes running up. There's a done in there!
Calm down, citizen. Speak
Calm the
clearly.
fuck down! There's a goddamn fucking... It's huge!
I would look up where he's pointing. Do I see anything?
So he's pointing, how far can you see? Not very far.
I just basically see the street here. Yeah, up to like this wall back here.
Let me give you some.
Yeah, I mean, like what's this? You said it's a construction site?
Hold on, no, let me describe it a little bit more fully.
Okay.
So we want dim vision to 200. No, we'll go 300. 300 and 150. So it's not a construction site. It is a. It looks like a. It was a residence at one time, like an apartment complex. Single-story apartment complex. It is dilapidated beyond belief, and it has been scheduled for to be condemned and destroyed. But people are still living there because, you know, vagrant's got a vagrant. So.
Okay.
And so he's just pointing back towards the doors into the building.
All right. And I can't really understand anything he's saying. So I push him aside and walk to the other two.
Citizens, what's the situation?
Give me a perception check, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. So the other two come running up. They're like, the first one's like, dude, there's the judge helmets are just sitting there. There's skulls all over the place. Like it's terrifying.
Skulls.
Skulls.
That it? Skulls and helmets.
And there was something holding it. There was something holding a skull, and it looked like it was big. It was huge, and it had claws, and the skin was like a yellow color. It looked like it had dreadlocks. It was just disgusting. It screamed at us, and we ran.
Did you see where it went?
No, we ran.
Stand by over there. Get behind my lawmasters and duck down.
And so
Schaefer, did you hear that?
yeah, sounds like your buddy's here.
Let's move in. Keep your distance from me.
You want to give it a name?
Give it a name.
Sure. I mean, it seems to be your friend, right?
Judge Sanchez, this is Judge Null. Come in.
Judge Sanchez, go ahead.
I need that warbot here now. Maybe a H-Wagon if you've got it.
That warbot's going to be a little bit at a time getting there.
That's why I'm calling it now. There's a sighting of this creature. I'm heading into the building where it was spotted.
Roger, we'll get that on an H-Wagon and out to you ASAP. Are you going to stand by and wait for it?
There's no time.
Copy. Be safe.
Judge Null out. I would draw my lawgiver and start cautiously heading towards the doors to get in there.
Okay. I gotta pump you into there like this. So, so you go through the main door and you just see you go in and this place is dilapidated beyond belief. Give me one more perception check.
All right. And I would make sure Schaefer's following me, but definitely keeping like at least 10 feet behind. You know, if something shoots at me, it's not low chance of hitting her.
So as you walk into the building, you're kind of like looking, you got your lawgiver out. You see, I guess the best thing to describe it would be like whenever a sidewalk is really hot and there's a little wave off of it, but then the second that you kind of stare at it, it's gone.
Okay. And would I'm trying to remember, they said something about it's like stealth technology and stuff, but didn't really elaborate beyond that.
They say that it's incredibly stealthy. It has stealth technology that completely puts us to shame. in that it used to be able that they could use infrared and possibly find it, but now the infrared doesn't work nearly as well at just discerning it.
Okay. All right. So I would just continue and very cautiously keep moving forward. Do I see anything else in here indicating like any of the skulls and helmets they were talking about?
No, it is just complete garbage in here. There's a smell of filth and too many bodies and just unwashed, unclean people and rotten meat and just a disgusting smell associated with this place.
So I carefully open this door. Blood.
Say
Lots
it.
of blood.
Say it, Doug. Say it.
This is a bathroom. But there is a lot of blood in this bathroom.
There
so
is an absolute massive amount of blood in this bathroom. And you start to kind of look around and you look, and it's kind of got like a vaulted ceiling. This was once a nice place. There's a body hanging from the ceiling, and it's dripped all this blood on there because it is completely skinless.
Okay. Is there any like clothing or anything like that nearby that would have been from this body?
No judge gear.
Okay.
There is a spit rifle over in the corner.
All right. So
And all of this looks incredibly fresh, like 5 minutes ago kind of fresh.
Is there any sort of, and this whole time I'd also be like listening very carefully because I know it's stealthy, so I'm trying to maybe use, sound to my advantage.
You're hoping that you're like that or something?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, maybe. We'll see.
Are there any tracks or anything in this blood?
No.
Any indication?
Nope.
All right, so I'd back out of that room and imagine Schaefer standing some distance from me. Are you picking up on anything?
It's here. It's here. I know it's here.
So just then start heading down this hallway instead.
Okay. So you see a guy just standing there next to a burning barrel. He's just standing there.
Like right next to this door, kind of?
Where'd you go? Sorry, I lost you. The guy, you should see him. He's right here, right?
No, I don't see him.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Is
Really?
he hidden?
No, I don't think so. No?
Let me refresh them. Maybe it's that.
Maybe because you're like standing there looking at him.
Refreshing. There, he's there now.
Okay. He's just kind of standing there next to a burning barrel, and he's just kind of looking into the fire.
Citizen, have you seen anything come this way?
Huh?
And what about the guy further down the hall there? What's he doing?
He's kind of just sitting there, and he's got this thing in his hand. Can't really see what it is.
All right. Yeah, it seems like I needed to ask those guys out front for directions to the skulls and stuff. So this guy seems like he's not going to give me anything, so I'd head down to this guy. Can I tell what like I'm slowly approaching him in case it's a weapon he's about to aim at me, but...
It's a slow-mo inhaler.
Oh. Citizen.
Huh?
Some information from you.
He looks up at you like, what? And he's like, this isn't mine! As he puts it away in his pocket.
Okay, I'm not concerned with that right now. I've been told there's some skulls and judge helmets in here. Have you seen anything like that? Anything strange? Any violence?
No? What? Judges, yours the... Yours is the only judge helmet I've seen around here.
So these people look like they haven't seen anything like that. So I'm just gonna keep exploring without them.
Okay.
this door's open, so I'm gonna go to that one first and see if I spot anything in here.
Okay. Sorry, I'm doing something really quick here. There's this.
Another dilapidated room. Nothing of interest in here, I see, though.
No, just give me 1 second, okay?
Okay.
Sorry, there's something I thought I'd set up and I hadn't. Nice. Okay. Ping me where you are, because I was in a different part of the map. Got you. So this room looks like it's full of absolute junk and just refuse.
Alright, doesn't look like there's any... there's another door down that way. Picking up on anything?
It's here. I just know it's here and it's watching. It can see us. I don't know how. It can see us though. How can it see us? Where is it? Dude, it's here. And so you open up this room and it just looks like another room where people kind of stay, live, eat, sleep. Garbage is everywhere. There's, you know, there's just not a lot of stuff in there except for refuse.
Okay. And this way, just ignoring these citizens that are standing here.
What? Why would you do that? So you see a bunch of tagging in this hallway. Just some beds, gear, just, it looks like, again, this is just garbage, right? Like, people live here and just in their own filth.
What about that guy down here? What do I see looking at him?
He looks very frightened.
Okay. That might be helpful. So I'd approach him. Citizen.
Ah!
Relax. I'm here to help. What are you afraid of?
You need more. You need more people, man.
Where is it?
Either I'm tripping or you need more people.
Where is it?
I don't know. I saw it and I ran.
Where did you see it?
And he kind of points over towards that door.
Get out of here. Find somewhere safe to hide.
Sorry, I get the thing is just a little too dark for me to work with, so give me 1 second here because I lost my stuff. Where did he go? Not that he's here. This is all just actually a red herring and Judge Death, and Jason Voorhees are gonna pop out and kill you. Okay, give me 1 second while I fix this. Okay, go ahead and open up that door if you want. I mean, you don't have to.
I listen to the door first, or at the door, to see if I hear anything on the other side, and then I open it quickly.
And so you look inside, and you can kind of see what this looks like is a bunch of debris all over the place. Like, and it was kind of like some of it has been moved in such a way to build a fort. Almost like an enclosure, right? You can kind of see that all of this stuff over here and here were put in such a way as to facilitate blocking.
Okay. So I'd carefully start moving around, checking all of the debris and stuff for anything about to jump out at me.
Perception check.
Danger at every corner.
Dangerous perception check. And so Schaefer comes in the room with you, and she's like, "This is where it stays, but it's not. I don't see it anymore, or I don't feel it anymore. I don't feel like it's watching." And so you go around that corner where you are right now, and you see this... How do I describe this? You see a series of helmets that look like they're on spikes. You see a bunch of tools that were used to flay the skulls and remove the insides. And these things are kind of staggered around. Not in a permanent way, but is in like a short-term forward operating base way. Like, things are just there to act as a front. This is... You don't feel like this is... Based on your psi abilities, too, you don't feel like this is its home, but this is where it's working out of.
Okay. We need to thoroughly investigate this site. I don't think it's staying here, but it's obviously working out of here in some capacity.
It's somewhere here. It's somewhere around here. It's not in here though. It's back somewhere the other way. Feel it. I can feel it. It's old.
Hopefully our backup arrives and we get a perimeter before it can escape. We need to keep searching.
Alright, go. I'm gonna stay here for a minute. Just go.
Does she have, like, some sort of communication, like radio
Yeah,
with
for
me?
sure.
Okay. Tell me if you see anything suspicious at all.
Yeah, I will. I'm not stupid. I got you. Go.
Alright, so I would reluctantly leave her alone in there and continue to...
So do me a perception check again.
Okay.
Which way are you facing? Okay, cool. So you feel something almost like it's on your back.
On my back?
Yeah, you feel like something is, like, behind you.
Okay. So I would swing around and aim my lawgiver that way. Do I see anything other than that citizen if he's still standing there?
Do you?
Oh shit, all the way down
So
there.
you feel the thing on your back was a series of 3 red dots. And as you turn around, you can see it, and then you see a brilliant flash of light. What's your range ability? Or what's your range defense?
Defense 18. Wow.
So you...
Alright.
Yeah, this... Don't worry, I'm going to describe what's happening here, because all of a sudden, this red-hot plasma just slams into your shoulder, and it melts through your judge armor, but not a lot. It almost feels like it wasn't as hard as it should have been.
Okay.
Because you now see this creature. It's not invisible. It stands before you. It has a spear in one hand. Why is it so dark? Why is it so dark? It has a spear in one hand, and the blast came from a cannon on its shoulder. And it looks at you, and you can get one shot off if you want. If you'd like.
Yeah, high X.
High X. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Roll it.
That plasma slams into my shoulder, and I can bring my lawgiver up, or actually it's already up. I swiveled around, and actually the plasma slammed in my shoulder as I'm already looking at it. And if you'll let me take the aim action with it, I'll probably do that. But
sure,
if I have time,
I'll let you do that. That's fine. This is...
Is that citizen still standing there between?
Yeah, well, I mean, the minute that plasma went flying, right, he screamed and dropped to the ground.
All right.
Trying
let's
to
see. High X.
There we go. Darkness level.
Aim.
Let's get that darkness.
And I'm going to spend 1 luck die on that too.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to see how it goes with just the aim.
Okay.
Wow, lots of ones there. That's cool.
So you're round. You just see it. It's looking at you, and it literally goes like this. Right, and your round just goes flying off and hits the back. catches this poor citizen on fire.
I didn't even see him standing there. Damn it.
And it kind of like looks back, and it looks at you for a minute. Right? Like you can feel its stare. You can almost... Is there anything you want... So you're not going to be able to fire off another shot, but is there anything that you want to do?
Not really. I mean, at this point, the objective is to eliminate that threat, and also, if I can, save the citizen I just set on fire.
And so it just turns and bolts down the hallway then. And I think...
I would try and, if there's any sort of mental thing I could pick up on with it,
I
wouldn't try to actually assault it in any way.
You wouldn't try... Okay, well, go ahead and do a telepathy check.
Okay. Just so I can try and... I want to basically pick up the signature of its mind, I guess, if that makes sense.
You touch this alien mind, and it is completely one of bloodlust. It's not even bloodlust. It's the mind of a hunter, somebody who's constantly testing themselves against all odds, whose only dream is to die in battle. Oh,
okay.
Wait, hold on, sorry. Something just happened. I don't know what just happened. Sorry, give me 1 second. Oh goodness. Okay, there we go. Whew! That was scary. It's somebody who wants to die in battle, and that's the scary thing, because you have this feeling that it's old. It's beyond its prime. And alls it wants is to die. But to die well. And you're kind of able to pick up on its signature just a little bit. I highly doubt you'd be able to reach out to this city and all the chaos that it's in and be able to track it. But you are definitely able to pick up on this thing and what it wants and why it's here.
Okay.
And you know that it has selected you, Judge Null, as either its ultimate prize or what will be the one to lock in that fate. And so I think that's where we're going to end today.
Okay.
So I'd like you to go ahead and talk to me about what's going through Judge Null's mind right now.
Judge Null is always very focused. So I mean, he immediately is. He's not even messing around in any capacity with this thing. He's immediately trying to eliminate the threat with it any way he can. I mean, Judge Null might even allow some amount of like collateral damage here, like that explosion hitting the citizen there. This thing is killing judges. The city can't handle this thing right now, and it needs to be killed. So he's going to fulfill its wishes.
Or he will be the ultimate prize in its trophy rack, I suppose.
Maybe.
And so we will finish this up next time, hopefully on October 31st. I got to double check to make sure that my wife didn't have any plans for me to be wearing this with the children running around anywhere, but we'll see. My plan is that we should be able to finish this next week within the normal 2-hour limit, because we're right near where I was hoping to be today.
Yeah.
And so to all of the viewers who are out there, thank you for watching this week. I got to solidify, but we should have Conan on Tuesday because of certain situation that's happening with our other game. Friday, possibly Curse of Strahd. Saturday, are you Cthulhuing?
Probably not, because that's when I have a Halloween party planned. But depending on how this sickness I have goes, that might get canceled. So we'll see what happens. Might stream something.
All right, well, possibly something on Saturday, and definitely something hopefully on Sunday, depending on if I have fatherly duties or not. So, Judge Null, any last words to the citizens out there in Mega City 1?
The law is watching.
We will see you out on the streets, citizens.